Uh-oh. There we go. How's everybody going tonight or doing tonight? Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time you're watching this. As always, thanks for watching Common Sense Fishing. So I'm excited to bring you guys another live stream. Got a lot of cool stuff coming up right now, basically. So a lot of cool things going on. So we've got 2 giveaways that are happening. Stay tuned for those videos to drop tomorrow morning. I've been too busy to get them recorded and done. So as soon as tonight's live stream's over, I'll be shooting my giveaway video, posting that all over the place, putting it on YouTube as well as on Facebook. So what 2 giveaways are we having? So we're having the 1,500 subscriber giveaway for YouTube. So congratulations to the community. We've hit 1,500 subscribers in just over a year. So thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Hey, Kyle here. Got here early thanks to the notification. Thanks. Appreciate it. So, you know, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff, a lot of cool things coming up. So we've got the 1,500 sub giveaway for the YouTube channel. And if you follow me on Facebook, Sam Matthews, or if you're in our fishing page, either Tug Addicts or Bass Fishing Lovers, which is my official page, we're having on the Bass Fishing Lovers, we're having our 3,000 member giveaway. That thing has just skyrocketed and took off, and it is growing like 100 members a day or more, sometimes 200-300 members a day. So we're already over 3,000. By the time the video comes out, we're probably going to be at 4,000. So I'm super stoked. So we'll probably have the next giveaway on that one when we hit 5,000. We're going to go ahead and just skip, excuse me, we're going to go ahead and just skip the 4,000 mark. So we're going to have our 3,000 and our 1,500. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for those. Good evening, and how's it going, Mr. Jeff Garcia? So super excited. I don't know if you guys got a chance to catch my live stream not yesterday, but the day before. It was out at the lake. Apologize for the bumpy trip up to the lake and the phone falling over a few times. But man, if you made it to the last 15 minutes, 25, 30 minutes of that video, oh, it was epic. We took you guys out to the lake. We did a live stream out on the lake, and we were night fishing, and we got there with about an hour of usable light left. And we shot us record, you know, we live streamed all the way up the mountain. We live streamed the launch, the trip across the lake, and then a good 30 minutes of fishing. And we pulled out 5 fish on video for you guys pretty quickly. Had a good time. Stayed for a few more hours. Got some 2- and 3-pounders in the night. Jig fishing, and then took off. It got pretty windy and choppy, so it was pretty nasty out there. How'd we do at New Maloney's? We did good. We had fun. We caught like 15 fish or more in just a few hours. Maybe 15, 20 fish in about, say, 4 hours. I think we were there less than 4 hours. So we had a great time. Slowed down a little bit at night because I think we changed the locations. What it was, we drifted down the shoreline and we kind of got off more of the shallow stuff and got more on the steep stuff. And we started picking off more larger fish, but less numbers. So how's it going, Alan? We were out at New Maloney's the night before last. Had a good time out there. So we were night fishing and got a bunch of numbers, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, the phone kept falling over. We did the live stream out at Lake New Maloney's. Those beautiful sunset. So super stoked. We're going to be doing that for you guys more often. So some of the times I can't have a live stream because I'm out fishing, shooting videos for you guys, doing the toy drive trips. I don't know if you guys can see. We've got the bikes in the room right now and a big giant. You see over here, we've got a big stack of toys, and over here we have the bikes. So super stoked. So we're doing the toy drive obviously still. So I'm running trips and doing things here and there. So if you guys, if I miss a live stream, I apologize. But I think, you know what? I'm going to try to keep my phone fully charged. I might even get one of them solar chargers, and we'll run a live stream out at the lake more often. Let me know, what do you guys think about? Smash that like button if you guys could. How would you guys like to see me do more real live streaming on the water? I'd be more than happy to do that for you guys. The timing works out perfect, especially if I start shooting at 6 and we end right around 8 or 9. That's perfect for the summertime. So I can get out there and do a couple hours on the lake with you guys, and it'd be fun. You guys can see in real time when I'm catching my fish on, and so super excited. Yeah, we can do our trip at night for sure. So just let me know. I'd be more than happy to take you out, and we'll go have some fun. I'm going to the Delta with Virgil, Real Time Bassin, and he has been one of the channel's biggest supporters. That dude's awesome. So I want to give a big shout out to him. We're going to be doing a trip. Thanks to Jeff too, and Charles Chalk, and all you guys, and Curtis Leduc. Thank you to all the members, RC Creative, James David, Marco Houston, Clarabelle. Thank you to Helifino. Thank you to all you guys. So I want to say thank you to all the members. If I missed your name again, I know all of you guys, most of you guys. So really appreciate, and gals, really appreciate the support. So super excited to do more of this nighttime fishing, but that's going to be slowly coming to an end as we approach fall and winter, and then we'll be back to more daytime fishing in about a month or two. So we got a month and a half, 2 months of some really nice nighttime fishing. I'm going to try to put forward for you guys, try to hunt some DDs, and I've got one double digit already now at night this year, so I want to try to put a couple in the boat, or at least go after a few 8+ pounders to show you guys the true power of night fishing, and it's not just all hype or luck, because night fishing is really my passion, as far as, especially in the summer with bass fishing, because this staying heat and the skin cancer possibilities and all that craziness, it's just like, and it's so much more comfortable when there's not giant ski boats smashing around with big wake and waves going over the top. And it's just, you can drink a few beers and not worrying about being so dehydrated you fall over dead. So it's fun but interesting. Yeah, it's definitely different experience. It's not always better. A lot of the times it has its challenges for sure. So there's hitting the dang bank and getting snagged on the bank. And then when you get snagged on the bank at nighttime, you're trying to get your lure out, hitting yourself or your partner with the lure is an extreme possibility. And how many times in your fishing career have you ducked or dodged a lure? At nighttime, you're not going to be able to. It's going to smack you most of the time. You're going to have a hard time ducking and dodging. You're going to just have to hope and guess and then just move if you hear it flying at you, or it pops loose all of a sudden. So there's some fun challenges with night fishing for sure. But tonight's video, really want to talk about how to catch big fish, some night fishing tips and tricks, summertime, daytime fishing tips and tricks. Got a buddy that caught a 9-pounder out at Lake Tulik. If you guys want to go see that, go check out Mark Nav on YouTube. And then I'm also fishing with Magla. They were both out on Tulik a few days ago. I think they were using a Cinco near the docks. And yeah, I got a 9-pounder largemouth out there, so pretty cool. So support those channels, California Anglers. So cool to see them stick that, and that's a cool technique. We're going to kind of lead into and start with, I think, daytime fishing. Since I've been doing so much nighttime fishing, I don't want to neglect the daytime fishing. So let's read some comments here. What's up, Mark Nav? How's it going? So speaking of the devil, right? I said his name and he showed up. Trying to send everybody to your page real quick here. When you guys get a chance, obviously finish the live stream with me or look it up in a different window. But yeah, Mark and them stuck a hog out at Tulik. So I don't know if you guys got it on the Cinco. It looked like you did, but anyways, if not, that's a killer technique though for fishing next to the docks. Instead of hitting it with a drop shot and with a bottom bouncer and always having to fish the bottom, if you fish a Cinco, that thing has a nice slow drop to it, and if you're fishing in 10-12 feet of water, it doesn't take too long to have a little patience to pop it around and take your time down there. Yeah, around the docks at Tulik are really good. So big shout out to Mark Nav right there. He smashed a Mondo. So going to be at the Delta Saturday for frogging all day. Check out my uncle's YouTube channel, Tedeki Fish Magnet. For sure, I'll go check that out. I'm going to be at the Delta this Friday, so I'll let you know how it goes. I'm taking Virgil out again. Again, you guys know me at the Delta. I'm pretty much going to be bottom bouncing like with a Senko or throwing a crankbait in top water. And most likely the two lures that will never leave my hand will be the crankbait and the top water. And when we get low tide, bottomed out, and I'm trying to pitch and hit specific holes, then you'll see me throwing like a Senko or something like that. You say, well, why don't you punch? Yeah, I'll probably try a little bit of punching. I'm not a punching wizard, and I don't have the expensive gear, the big rods, the very, very high-end reels with the tight drag to be able to take the abuse that punching requires. So in that stead, what I like to do instead of punch is pull up parallel to those weeds and that cover that you would normally punch, and then fish the edge of it between, let's say, the weeds and the lily or whatever, and then open water, and you fish that edge line. And if I make enough casts, multiple casts, the fish will come out to see what the hell's going on, and eventually they'll hammer your stuff. So yeah, I'm going to be going out there Friday. So I know you're going out Friday night. We were talking about that, but Vince had hit me up and secured we wanted to know if we can go Thursday or Friday. And I have my daughter's recital I got to go to, or not like a recital, but a play she's doing, and she's excited to be in it. It's a high school drama play. It's her first one, so she's all stoked. She's got a big part. So I'm going to go show my support. I'm going to go do that Thursday. So then Friday, I'm going to head out to the Delta with Virgil all day. Now, dude, Danny, if you picked me up in your boat, I'd be more than happy to go fishing with you. I'll fish all day at the Delta with Virgil, and then I'll go fish Tulik all night with you. But only problem is my boat won't have enough charge or any kind of juice to handle 2 trips like that in one day. So yeah, exactly. So I'm going to make sure, but next time, man, you send me another invite like that, and it's game on for sure. Like anytime next week, we just got to do it in advance. So, and, I really appreciate everybody. I'm super open, easy to get along with. I fish with a lot of different people. So, oh, heck yeah, dude. Just, my biggest advice to you. So I'm going to give Curtis, if you guys all who's watching right now, guys and gals, if you guys get a chance to smash that like button, helps the algorithm put the live stream out, helps get more people to the channel. Really appreciate it. Also, the comments and engagements, super awesome. Thank you guys. And if you guys don't forget to check out, we do have memberships available. But I want to get into Curtis LeDuc. He's got a night tournament. It's going to be his first one. So I don't know if you said where it's at, but one of the biggest advices and tips and tricks I could give you is nighttime. The fish are almost always shallow. However, that is not the case always. Sometimes I've caught them in 40, 50 feet of water, 60 feet deep in summer at night, fishing offshore rock piles, drop shotting in the middle of night, and pulling out 4 or 5 pound bass. I don't know what the hell they're doing down there. Maybe they're there with bait fish or something. The turnover, oxygen level, water temps, I don't have no clue, but I have caught fish deep. So one thing to always remember is if the lake or body of water is lowering and dropping, delta, lake, any of that, right? So if the tide's dropping, fish pull out. At the lakes, if the lake is dropping, fish pull out usually. Now at nighttime, there's always going to be some fish in like 1 foot of water, but you want to try to figure out where the big ones are at. So my 2 recommendations are always start in like 1 inch of water and then work your way down. And then if you're not getting anything, don't be afraid to pull out and start casting into 15 or 20 feet, and then work your lure down into 30, 40, or 50 and give it a shot. You never know. And then the other big important thing is it's if you're bottom bouncing. If you're night fishing, power fishing and commotion causing is very important sometimes. Examples would be like top water, spinner baits, crank baits, especially if there's a little wind or chop on the lake. And for that, you want to make sure you get parallel and cast along the shoreline. Do not cast at it. Okay, that's my biggest. I think that is the biggest thing you can do to increase your odds of catching more fish and catching bigger fish is fish parallel. Do not cast at the shore and bring your lure down it or out from it. Get as close to the shore as you can, literally on the shore as if you're walking on the shore if possible, as close as your trolling motor in your boat or your kayak can take, and fish right along that shoreline. And then start making casts out a little deeper and a little farther, but always parallel. So that, let's put it this way. Let's say you can make a 60-yard cast from point A to point B, or 50 yards. So you can cast 50 yards, right? Now let's say you figured out that the bass are right up shallow in 1 to 5 feet of water. If you are taking a jig, a bottom bouncer, or a crankbait, and you are covering the lake and you are casting at the shore and bringing out, here's what's going to happen. You're going to cast once here and bring it out, but your boat's moving. Then your next cast is going to go here. Then your next cast is going to go here. Then your next cast is going to go here, right? Now, if you had cast parallel, you are covering that entire area, right? So let's just say your two casts are right here. What if that tournament winning fish, double digit, was right there? And so you'd have to make 1 million casts to cover every little square inch of the shoreline, right? So if you pull up parallel and you run your lure along it, you are going to increase your bite ratio, the size, all of that. Now, let's say you find that they're in 15 or 20 feet of water. Same principle. Pull out and then fish in 15 or 20 feet along that shore. Bottom balancing, I prefer to pull out away from shore, and I kind of fish like this at a 45. And I try to cover as much as I can. But whenever I'm top water, reaction, spinnerbait, crankbait, that's when I pull right up shallow. I start shallow, and then if I'm going to use a deep diver or stuff like that, I pull away from shore and I start going deep, but always parallel to the shoreline, never perpendicular, if that makes sense. So oh yeah, appreciate it. Thank you guys. So yeah, I try to make sure that I put out videos early and then sometimes some exclusive videos. So we're going to put out a members only video that's going to show one of my buddies catching a pretty good size largemouth bass on a monster shell cracker, not top water, but wake bait bluegill lure. Something that you think, he posts a lot at Kelsey, catches a lot of fish at Kelsey on this crap. And it's hard to catch fish in the lakes with this stuff. But using the tips and tricks that I'm talking about, not that I gave them to him, but he knows this stuff too. Fishing parallel. We took our time, and I'm throwing the jig, and I'm catching fish on the bottom. And instead of getting excited and switching to what I was doing, he stuck with his game. And at the right spot and at the right time, a big fish grabbed his shell cracker and took us for a fun ride. It wasn't a monster, but it was a decent, good-sized fish. That is going to the members only, and no one else is ever going to see that video. So I want to say thank you to all my members. You guys are awesome. So we have a lot of cool reasons why to be members. We have giveaways every month that's just for you guys. Whenever the live streams go a little off the rails or we have too much fun, any videos that are kind of like not meant for children, that have curse words or some crazy stuff in it, those always go members only. Now at this channel, we try to keep it really clean, pretty family friendly, but sometimes we have a lot of fun. Those videos always go members only. So anyways, enough plugging the members only stuff. Just wanted to talk about that for a minute. Thanks for the shout out, Jeff. But yeah, night fishing, power fishing, parallel. So, I get excited about it because that's how you're going to catch, in my opinion. If you haven't got a fish over 6-7 pounds yet, most likely your first fish like that will come night fishing if you get out and do it more. So, yeah, let me know. So, all right, so we got Curtis LeDuc's fishing in Amador night tournament. Nice little lake. Can be tough though, so good luck and just keep at it, keep plugging away. What club are you in, Curtis? So 2 more weeks. That makes huge sense. Thanks for the help. Share on Facebook. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. I share these on Facebook. If you guys share the video on Facebook, it helps get the channel growing. But either way, I'm just, trying to help out, have a good time as usual, chat with you guys, have fun, explain everything, what's going on, and let you guys know. As soon as tonight's video is over, again, I'm going to be releasing and shooting the 3,000 sub giveaway for bass fishing lovers. So if you're on Facebook, make sure that you join Bass Fishing Lovers. It's my fishing page. I created it when I got kicked out of another fishing page. I got a little butthurt, and I was like, well, you know what? Because I was being just honest when they closed everything down about the COOF and they started closing lakes down. I was pissed off. Like, how dare you close our lakes down? That's where we're safest, the outdoors. And it's just people are going crazy cooped up in their homes. And I'm like, we need these lakes. Especially I do for mental health and for just health, just to get out and fish. I could have made fishing videos anywhere. I had a Kelsey membership. You think I cared about, like, people are like, you just wanted to make YouTube videos. It's like, look, I got a Kelsey membership. I could have went there every day for a month and just destroyed that place and had a great time and shot a bunch there, which I did do some of that. However, I went to the Delta. I said, well, screw you guys. I'm going to go to the Delta then. So anyways, long story short, I created my own little Facebook page. We're at over 3 members in like 6 months. It's crazy. So something like 6 months to a year. Not even that. It's at 3,000 members. So anyways, we're having a giveaway over there. Make sure you go check that out. Then for hitting 15, we're having another giveaway here. That video will be out soon. So make sure your notification bells are checked. All right. So everybody, how you guys doing now for a nice, what is this? Is it Wednesday? It's hump day today, isn't it? Oh, my goodness. Now, I also wanted to, before I forget, I want to let you guys know, Friday, I may not make the live stream. It all depends on what time I get off the water with Virgil. So if I can't make that one, I'm going to try to shoot one for you guys Saturday or Sunday. And I may also be on tomorrow as well, just to kind of make sure I'm here and present if I don't have a fishing trip planned. Doing a lot of heating and air conditioning work, so there's a lot of juggling going on right now, but I appreciate you guys bearing with me when I miss some of them, but I try to be pretty consistent because that's how you're going to have growth on the channel. I've got a couple videos I need to edit, so apologize. There hasn't been any great fishing content uploaded recently except for that This Is Why Night Fish video. That's a pretty good one, but I got a couple more trips I've got to chop up and put together for you guys and gals. So hopefully that'll be done probably tonight too. So look for a couple of new videos coming out tomorrow that are just regularly fishing based. Then I'm also going to do, see, I got the little whiteboard over here. I'm going to do a tips and tricks video where if you guys have been following along on these live stuff, how's the raffle going? Yeah, we'll get into that too in a second. So if you guys have been following me on the live stream, we've been doing a lot of tips and tricks about nighttime, power fishing, summer fishing, how to get big fish. So we're going to kind of show you guys on a whiteboard a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about kind of from an underwater perspective. Yeah, I don't have an underwater camera right now. I mean, I do. I have my GoPro. But the point is I'm going to use it just to show you guys, like, figuratively, what I'm talking about, and hopefully it'll make more sense. So, look forward to that. I look forward to that coming in the next week or so, and super stoked. So, all right. So now Charles Chalks brought up a great point here. We have a big raffle going on. So now I want you guys to see, this isn't, I don't joke around. These are my last 2 giveaway winners. So we have Ewing Kennedy, who is a local here. I just got to go drop the reel off by his house, or he got to swing by here, pick it up. But he's got one. RC Creative, he's got one. He wants me to save it for him because we're going to go on a fishing trip in 2 weeks. Just like if you look up there at one of his comments, he said 2 weeks, I think it is, right? Yeah, 2 more weeks. So super, super excited. There he is right there, RC Creative. So, yeah, we got his reel here. Now, on Facebook, Bass Fishing Lovers, Sam Matthews, all that stuff, you can see I have a raffle. So what I did is I take people on fishing trips, right? And they donate toys, and I'm going to take care of kids for Christmas. So we're doing a raffle where I have 25 spots. So $10 a spot, so that works out to 250 bucks. So I'm just gonna take that money and go buy toys with it. It's not for me. I'm not gonna pocket it. Now we have first, second, and third place. First place will get this really nice reel, and it's never been opened. Shimano SLX 150 HG right out the box, never been opened. And second place will get this Biggie Papa Cold Blooded, which is like a $10 to $12 lure. The Spro, that's a nice one. And then also we have the Dobyns jigs. We have 2 packs of them. So this is second place right here. So second place will get that. And third place will get 4 Thunder Crickets, which is basically a bladed jig or a chatterbait, and 3 frogs, 3 hollow body frogs, Teckles. So I'm super excited. So right now about half the spots are filled up. So we only have half the spots left. I haven't been pushing it, so it's kind of been in limbo. I started it about a week and a half ago. We got half the spots filled up. So if you guys want to come support, you can drop in on Facebook. Check me out there. Sam Matthews, Bass Fishing Lovers. And we have a post where you can comment, and then you either Zelle or PayPal or whatever. And then once we have all the spots filled up, we're going to do a video. We're going to have the first, second, and third picked. We may do it live, and then we'll get the prizes either shipped out, or you can pick them up in person if you'd like, depending on where you're at, or I can drop them off. And so, you know, because we have a lot of people that are watching from other areas. You know, I'm super excited. I hope Jay Carr wins one of these. I'm pretty, I like it when I love all the people who are subscribed, members and all that. But when I see someone who's in India, who's a legit member, and they usually comment almost every night, you know. So it's pretty cool to see him on. I like seeing, you know, we have a couple of people from other areas of the world and country. So pretty fun to see that. I love how the internet lets us all connect like this. So anyways, long story short, you know, we're doing that over at Bass Fishing Lovers. Go check that out. So having our that's a raffle. These are from our giveaways, right? So we're going to have 2 more giveaways. So make sure your notification bell is checked. Make sure that you're paying attention for that. They should be coming out tomorrow. So how much is the buy-in again? It's a $10 per spot, and there's 25 spots. So it's basically like $10 per raffle ticket, and there's only 25 raffle tickets. So it's a 3 in 25 chance, which boils down to like 1 in 7 almost, you know, or a 1 in 8, a 1 in 8 chance of winning. And we got some cool prizes. So there's 3 spots to win. You know, we got a reel, bunch of lures. So super stoked. Then, like I said, I'm going to go take that $250. We'll go to Walmart, Toys R Us, something like that. We're going to go pick up some toys. I videotaped me picking up some toys in Ross and a couple other places. So we're probably going to do like just a little short 5-minute video of me running around like a kid in a toy store, just taking toys off of shelves and buying stuff, you know, for the kids. So I get all excited and I go ring it up, and it's like $600, and I only have 300 from people, and I just pay 300 out of my own pocket. That's basically what I always do. So whenever someone pays money, takes me on a trip, or, you know, I take them on a trip, whenever I've got a couple hundred, 200-300 saved up, and I go buy the toys, I almost always double it. So I basically match whatever people put in, but I don't want to promise it, so I'm obligated, because what if you get all of a sudden a bunch of generous people helping out, and then I'm like, I don't got that. Hey, there's Jay Carr, right? Hopefully we get, I want him to win one of these giveaways. Jay Carr, make sure you keep your notifications checked. We're going to have 2 giveaways, one on Bass Fishing Lovers on Facebook for hitting 3,000 members, and one here for hitting 1,500. So just make sure you keep your notifications on. And again, that's another reason to follow me on Facebook or to join the Bass Fishing Lovers group. We have a cool community over there. Now we got 3,000 members over there. If only we can get some of them to come over here. We're trying it, but you know, Facebook's a greedy little place sometimes. Everybody's hopping on to kind of promote their own YouTube videos, and a lot of people don't interact with each other. I try to make sure if I'm putting my YouTube video out on your group, or if I'm on Facebook, right, and I'm sharing my video, when I'm chilling normally in an average day and I'm going through my phone, if I see posts from those groups, I try to interact so that the people in those groups know me, and I'm not just some random doof who's popping in like, hey, watch my videos, you know. So I don't know, I try to be as real as can be, but you know, that's how it is. It's fun. So, but a lot of the members, yeah, they're just, you know, it is what it is. But I'm excited to hit 3,000 members. I don't know how many it takes before you can get your page sponsored or something, or if I have to turn it into a business page, but that'd be pretty cool. So so anyways, having a good one. How's everybody doing this hump day? Hope you guys are all having fun. We are going to get into some summertime power fishing tips and tricks. So I want to talk about how to catch some big fish this year, this summer, and at nighttime. So obviously I've been beating on the dead horse. I've been beating up about night fishing, power fishing, you know, fishing at night, how comfortable and better it is. But what if you don't have the luxury, the eyesight, or the ability to fish at night? I want to try to help you out. So frog, exactly, top water. One of the biggest, best ways to catch some big fish this year, it's going to be two ways to do it, in my opinion. The two best ways of doing it. Well, there's three, to be precise, in my opinion, three of them. One's going to be top water. Don't barely put that top water pulled down. Be chucking it at all times of the day, morning, afternoon, night, middle of the day, 100-degree, I don't care, no sky, no clouds, just bright blazing sun. Make sure you're picking that top water up and giving it its fair shake everywhere. Shallow, out over stuff, along docks, along houseboats. Make sure you're getting up on wind-blown points, and make sure you, and then here's another big thing. When you try a lure, make sure you try it efficiently. So for example, let's say I tell you guys, go throw top water and go deep crank and go bottom bounce with jigs. Okay, so you go out to the lake and you chuck top water, you deep crank, and then you throw jigs, but you don't have any luck. And then I go and kill them on jigs, do okay on cranking, and do okay on top water. I say, well, what's the difference? Well, for example, that's three different techniques I said, right? But it's not just as simple as going out and doing them. When you go out and I say, okay, top water, you need to throw 10, 20 casts, burning that sucker super fast, moving it. Then you need to try some with a mediocre speed. Then you need to try maybe burning it and then pause, and then burning it and then pause, or medium and then pause, or creep it real slow. You need to make sure that you're giving the lure its fair shake with different cadences, different speeds, because top water may be the ticket, but you may be moving it too fast. They may want it literally crept, literally barely any noise, just a little tiny vibration and moving along, and they may destroy it. And that may be the ticket. All of a sudden you catch 20, 30 fish like that. But the second you speed up just a little bit, no more bites. Or vice versa. If you slow down just enough, you won't get them. But if you speed up enough, you will. So make sure when you try something, you need to try it fast. You need to try it moderate. You need to try it slow. And then you need to try it with intermittent pauses or jerks. And that goes for every lure. So how does that go for every lure? So say you're throwing a top water. Like I said, burn it, creep it, some intermissions, right? Try some different things. Now, how do you do that with a jig? Take the jig, cast it out, let it sink, and pop it. Let that jig fly through the air and fall down. What's up, buddy?
Oh, I just had some good news.
What's up?
I lost 11 pounds. I'm back on track.
Cool job. Thank you. Good job, buddy. So pop your lure, pop that jig and hop it, right? Doesn't mean you have to sit there and wrestle with it and make it fly 20 feet through the air, but literally keep it active, have it hopping along the bottom. Then secondly could be a hop and then pause and wait, and then a hop and then pause and then wait, or drag it. No hopping at all. No jerking, no jigging. Literally drag and then stop, and drag and then stop. And then if I tell you crankbait, burn that crankbait. That's one way. Slow roll that crankbait. It's another way. Moderately roll that crankbait. That's another way. And then burn it and then stop. Burn it and then stop. And then moderate and then stop. You get my point, right? So technically there's over 3 or 4 different ways minimum that you can work each one of those lures. So if I say top water, jig, and crankbait, that could be 12 different types of presentations you have to throw at those fish before you can figure them out. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So just because someone says go out and deep crank, that don't mean that like, so let's say I did a video and I tell you guys, oh, I was out at the lake and I killed them deep cranking. All right. So if you want to go out to the lake and you want to kill them deep cranking, great. Go out there and deep crank. First thing you got to figure out what kind of structure, where on the lake, where are the fish at? Are they shallow? Are they deep? Are they holding on shallow water or steep? Because they could be shallow right up to the shore on steep. They could be shallow on shallow. They could be deep on steep or deep on shallow. So look at the kind of shoreline. Are they on a shallow shoreline or on the steep? Are they on rocks? Are they in wood? Are they on a transition where there's some shallow and then all of a sudden a drop, or where there's just a bunch of regular shale, rock and mud and dirt and then boulders all of a sudden? Fish that, but there's a lot of different things to figure out, right? So it's not as simple as, go out and deep crank. Make sure you start trying to patterning, I guess, is what I'm really getting at. Learning how to pattern the fish is super important. So like I said, if I say deep crank, you need to figure out where to deep crank, right? And then let's say I tell you, go deep crank the rocks. Okay, so get out there, find the rocks, and then start deep cranking them. However, are you deep cranking parallel, or are you casting at the rocks and bringing your crankbait out like the way I say not to do it? So, and then if you get parallel, right, and you're doing everything correct, are you cranking fast? Are you cranking medium? Are you cranking slow? Or are you doing any one of the combinations with jerks and pauses in between, erratic stuff? Because believe you me, that can be the ticket. I have gone over the lake for 6 hours and cranked a square bill and went over the same exact water, and as soon as I changed my cadence, I started getting them. And then I'd go all over the place, and as long as I stayed with my particular cadence or little thing that I found, I catch fish. If I got too excited and I started going too fast, I wouldn't get bit anymore. And that happens all the time. All the time. And it usually, what helps put me on that is when I have a buddy with me. So we're both catching fish, crankbaiting, but all of a sudden the bite dies, or one person starts catching way more fish than the other, and you're like, well, wait a minute, what's going on? We're both throwing crankbaits. We're both at the Delta. We're both throwing Ishman Rowe craw-colored crankbaits. Why is he getting more than me? And then I look at the way that he's reeling, and he's reeling super slow. And then I'm over here burning my crankbait, or vice versa, right? So that'll help put you on, okay. So when you're by yourself, it's a lot harder to remember to do that, right? So you take a Senko or a jig. How easy is it to just go out and pound the shore and then repetitively do the same cast with the same pattern? And then when you don't get bit, you think, well, the jig sucks. It's not getting bit tonight. And then you go to something else, right? Well, did you try popping it? Did you try dragging it? You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of different ways to work each lure. So my 3, again, I know I'm hammering on this all over, but is going to be different forms of crankbaits or reaction, like a spinnerbait, crankbait, shallow, medium, and deep. All of those all in one kind of category, moving baits, right? Second, going to be top water, frogs, walking ploppers, all those. one category. Third is going to be bottom bouncers. And for me, it's almost exclusively a jig. The only time I'm not throwing a jig now is when I'm in heavy wood or heavy grass. And because the jigs that I particularly like to use, I use Bijon's jigs. So reach out to them on Facebook if you'd like to get an order. They're crazy good jigs. So I highly recommend them. Super sharp hooks, quality paint jobs, quality skirts. They're cut the right size. You don't have to trim them, in my opinion. The skirts aren't too long. They're not too short. They match up perfect with a medium-sized trailer like a baby D-bomb, any kind of craw or even creature bait. All those things, sweet beavers, work on them great. So, and again, my biggest tip with a jig trailer is start with a trailer that is smallest, that looks right, and then kind of upgrade, because a lot of the time using the big gaudy trailer, you may get strikes, and then you may not, the fish may not take the whole thing. It may just get the claws. It may be trying to injure the thing, and so you get a bite and you miss your fish. So, and my reasoning with that is, the reason why I think this way, I don't know if it's proven or not, but underwater, the skirt of the jig poofs open. And what happens is this little football head with the hook, and yeah, you've got, let's say, a trailer, so your jig's this big old gaudy thing. Well, underwater, when that jig lands and it opens up, the skirt is the biggest part. A jig's almost the size of a baseball underwater. It's a big profile. So I don't think you need to have another big profile sticking out of it. It's already big enough as it is. But to have a little trailer, I like. And then another tip or trick, I can go get a jig, but let's just use this as an example. So you see how there's the hook here and the skirt goes like here. I want a trailer that when I feed it onto here, I don't want my claws inside the skirt. So I don't want a small little tiny one, but I don't want my stuff way out here, right? Big old dangly stuff like 2 inches past. I want my claws starting, so I'll thread my rubber all the way down the shaft of the hook, right? And this should be the body of it. So my claws should start right here and end about an inch past the skirt right here. So I like Bijon's jigs. You don't have to do much trimming to the skirt, and they work like a mofo, I tell you what. So anyways, those are my tips or tricks for night fishing and just for power fishing for big ones. Now, daytime, I got off topic a little. We want to talk about daytime. I want to talk about how to get them for most of you people if you're still fishing in the daytime. Top water is going to be your #1 way. Now, number two for me is going to be something like a jig or like a Senko is really killer at getting these big fish. So a jig or a Senko is my #2. And a #3 would be, again, a deep diving crank. If I'm fishing in the daytime, I'm probably going to use the jig to target things from 1 to 10 or 1 to 20 feet, 1 to 15 feet, let's say. Then I'm going to get my deep and medium and crank from 10 to 15, 10 to 20. And then my top water will cover all ranges. I can throw that sucker over 100 feet of water. Now, one caveat is in the summertime, there are going to be days where, like, for example, me and a lot of the guys like Cook and everybody else, we went to the Fishing for Mason tournament. It was in the middle of summer. It was blazing hot. And we were throwing top water. We were bottom bouncing. Cook didn't do good. I didn't do good. None of this big names really did too good. Well, one of the dudes who finished in a higher place, Aaron, he was out using LV 500s and spoons out over 50, 60 feet of water, over 100 to 300 feet of water on schooling bass, and was just jigging spoons out over 100 feet of water. So there's many ways to skin a cat, and don't ever put yourself in a box. Make sure that you are open-minded. That's where electronics can really help. my boat, my electronics are a little messed up right now, so I'm not even using them. Haven't been using my electronics for months. So the way I've been looking at it is I'm just going to go pound the shoreline and look for the bigger fish. I'm going to mess with the offshore unless I see them roiling and boiling on the school or something, and I know they're out there, then I'll go peg them. But I'm more interested in covering water, hitting main lake points or big cover docks, shade, stuff that provides shade, houseboats, stationary items that don't move, again, like docks and houseboats that are there for a while. Believe it or not, buoys and big round ball buoys, I'll crank and I'll top water near them. And the same with the houseboats and docks. That's where also a Senko can come in killer next to a houseboat or a dock, weightless. Let that sucker just fall and pop it, almost like a soft jerk bait. So a lot of different ways to get them in the summer. But my favorites are moving up in the more shallow water and just cruising and covering water and trying to hunt the big fish because they got to eat. So the key about the big fish is just finding them. That's the hardest thing, is when you do, a 10-pound bass has to eat like once a day to stay alive. It can't just, I'm not a fish biologist. I don't know how long they can possibly go without food, but it's not like they're just sitting there spooked, not moving. Some of them, I think, become nocturnal depending on the lake, and I think a lot of the big fish have learned to feed at night and kind of rest during the day, and they're in deeper water, or they're trout eaters, and they're doing things that you just, because you're thinking about bass, and if the bass are thinking about trout and you're not thinking about trout, then how are you going to stock the bass that eat the trout? So some of them guys are, out over 100 feet of water too, those monsters. So it's a trick. Once you find them, it's not that easy to catch them either, but that's why I prefer covering water. And again, jigs. I've got a double digit on a jig already, a bunch of nice big ones, double digit on a crankbait, and I've got about a 7 or an 8 pounder on top water so far this year. So all we have to do is put a double digit in top water, in my 3 categories, man, my 3 favorites, they're covered. It would really be cool to get out there and start swim bait fishing more. To be very honest with you guys, that's somewhere where my skills are not quite as honed as they should be at all. And I need to spend a little bit more money for some, a better pole and a better reel. And I'd like to pick up a few and start doing that, because it was a challenge. I want to talk to you guys real quick too about a challenge of, I don't know if you guys do this, but when you pick up a new tool, when you pick up a new lure and you master it and you get excited about it and you like it, you tend to throw it more than, or almost all the time, right? And there's one particular lure that catches a ton of fish, and when the fishing gets tough, it's very easy to revert to it and catch fish, but it's not easy to get big ones, and that's the drop shot. And so this last year, I've changed. If you guys haven't really, I don't know if you've noticed or followed along, but my channel, like I said, is just over a year and a half old. If you go and you look, and you've seen what I fished with predominantly at McClure, Don Pedro, New Maloney's last year, it was all drop shot, Ned rig, and Senkos and stuff, and some square bills and stuff like that at the lakes, and mostly at the Delta. But it was mostly a bottom bouncing drudgery. I switched over to the jigs in the summertime. I got my first double digit on a jig, and that was pretty cool. I got 2 double digits on crankbaits. I got a double digit on top water from way back in the days, but you guys haven't seen that one yet, so I don't have no footage of that. But anyways, I want to start getting them many more different ways, but if it works, it works. So my point was putting yourself into a box, like with the drop shot, throwing something that just is really, it's good to catch fish on a tough day, but I've gotten a lot better now at saying, you know what, screw it. I don't necessarily have to catch 20, 30 fish today. I want to catch at least 5, and I want them to be the right fish. And that's where I've learned to have much more patience with things like the jig and crankbaits to figure the fish out. And so instead of just throwing the crankbait for 20 casts and the jig for 20 casts, say, oh, well, they're not biting them, and then picking up the drop shot and catching a fish in the first hour, next thing you know, all you're doing all day is drop shotting. So I've learned to change my presentations and my depths and all that different stuff, and almost I don't need to throw that drop shot anymore. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be times in the winter where I might have to, but I've kind of punked myself into not throw. I don't even use the fairy wands. I don't even use them anymore. And if you look at some of my old videos, this is like a 180 from who I was just like a year ago. Like I was a fairy wand expert. Like I fished my little drop shot and Ned rig, constantly. That's where I think this year I did a really decent job of breaking out of my bad habit of being stuck with that drop shot. So now maybe, I don't know, did I pick up a bad habit of throwing a jig too much? I don't know if there is such a thing as having a bad habit of throwing a jig too much. It's a good lure to throw. But it's just something else up, right? So just some of B's jigs yesterday. I already got them in the mail. Guy's a boss. Yeah. These jigs are the best. I have a whole box of his. So Kyle, and keeping it real. I know Bijan's got to be a little happy. I've been turning a lot of people over to him. I don't get no cuts. I don't get any breaks. I get the same price you guys all get. And he's a good dude. I support him 100%. And, like I said, I've already got a double digit on his jigs. I've got multiple 5-pounders on his jigs. So I'm super excited and happy for him. Happy for those jigs. I've always got a stash of them on deck now. So that's pretty much one of my go-to staples is one of Bijan's Bumblebee jigs. The only thing I recommend is reach out to him and see if he can make the other color patterns in the 3/8. I would say there's a lot of times I've found the bass do not want the 1/2 ounce and they want the 3/8. And then there's times where the 3/8 is too light and I almost move it too fast. And the 1/2 ounce is the one that'll kind of force me to slow down and maintain bottom contact more. And so it's good to have both sizes. So I strongly recommend when you reach out to Bijan, get a couple of different sizes of his jigs. And he makes many different colors. So I've got him making the red and blacks, the red and blues, the pure pitch blacks, and black and green, peanut butter and jelly, and a couple others those are my personal favorites. And he also made a custom bluegill and a custom craw for me. So I kind of tell him what colors I want in there. He'll make a few for me because especially when I catch crawdads or I catch bass and they're spitting up crawdads, at that particular moment, I'll want to try to match that hatch as close as possible. And not right now, but last month or so, they were throwing up an olive colored crawdads, like the green kind of crawdads with a light orange. They weren't really fire engine red yet, and the shells were more of a green color, like a younger crawdad, and the size was about that big. So I made, had him make me some of those, and they've been pretty productive too. So it depends on whether you're night fishing or daytime fishing, but a jig's a crazy killer lure. If you guys get a chance, smash that like button if you guys would. If you're new here, subscribe. Hope you guys don't mind every once in a while I plug the channel, just letting everybody know. I know almost all of you are probably subs, been here for a long time, and I appreciate your support. But for the random people who are watching this for the first time, welcome. I want to say thank you, and hopefully this is the day I earn your subscription or your membership. So thanks again, and I want to say thank you to everybody. So as always, once I'm done with my tips and tricks and kind of my planned topics for the night, we leave the floor open and we kind of go over any questions, anything you guys want to talk about. And we usually kind of freestyle it for the last hour. But I think I got a good another 20 or 30 minutes. I want to go over some more daytime tips and tricks for you guys. And one thing I think is super important and gets overlooked is the fact that in the summertime you have a lot of pleasure boats on the lake, and their wake will destroy the shoreline. And what that actually can do is stir up some crawdads, it can stir up some bait fish. So when that happens, look for the mud line, look for the area where that roiling, dirty water starts to turn clean. And what I highly recommend is fish inside of the dirty water, as if it was weeds, and like not like you're punching, but bass will be inside of that, ambushing and feeding stuff that is stirred up and stuff like that. And if you're not having much luck there, pull out and fish the edge where it goes from dirt to clear. That's almost always a guaranteed money, especially in the summer if the boats are creating a lot of wake and chop, and even if there's not a lot of wind. The spinner bait is a really key lure. You can take that spinner bait, you can cast it out and roll it, let it sink. And then before it hits the bottom so you don't get snagged, or wait till it hits the bottom, and pop it up like a jig and then start reeling it, and reel it at a moderate speed so you maintain it near the bottom. And the bass will just come out and destroy it. You can work that lure just like a chatterbait right along the bottom. Then you can bring that sucker up and reel it halfway, and then almost all the way at the surface. So the one thing about a spinnerbait, why I like it over a chatterbait, is the profile with spinnerbait is big. So the skirt opens up a bit, and you've got this big profile with the hook. Then you've also got 2 or 3 blades. There's much more action and movement. It's like a little mini A-rig. While I love a chatterbait's great, but I love a spinnerbait, in my opinion, over one. Everybody's got their own go-to. So throw what you're confident, right? Maybe a jig, maybe a crankbait, who knows? But summertime, these big, giant pleasure boats rip up the shoreline. So a couple of things are, you can hide from them and go find little coves and cuts and creeks that you can get up in where they're not quite there, where the water's too skinny and they don't have enough room to play around, and you can kind of get out of their general area. You can find a lot of areas like that if you just want to peacefully fish. That's one thing I'd recommend, and it works. Second, though, is if you're on a pattern and you're getting beaten up by the big waves and by the pleasure boats, learn to take that to your advantage, because those bass will still stay there and they'll feed in that mud line. So well, you got a discount because you're related to him a little. That's cool. Everybody, hey, you know how some people get all but hurt. Oh, bro, I want to get the same price he got, or I'm a big YouTuber, or I buy $100 or more at a time from him. So, but I don't ever treat. That's just horrible when the people get like that. They want, and that happens in the HVAC world too. Sometimes, oh, I'm so and so, give me a good price. It's like, yo, dude, I give everybody a good price. I'm super reasonably and fair price, and I'm very hard worker, quality work. And if you want a discount on top of that, I mean, wow, especially if you're like pushing for it, especially after I told you everything. So, there's always them in the world, but I'm not one of them types that gets all butthurt like that. Sometimes there are, but that's cool. And the other thing is, get in where you fit in. So if you get a deal, get your deal, because life's just too short, man. And money comes and money goes. But right now it's not, everything's a little tight. Prices are going up everywhere, this and that. So can't beat them, join them. Anyways, happy hump day to everybody. Hope you guys are enjoying tonight's live stream. I can't say enough again how stoked I was to be able to do a live stream on the lake, and that it actually worked, and that we had some decent footage, and then couple that with the fact that we caught fish for you guys. That was pretty cool. So I mean, I don't barely ever have a hard trips. I mean, sometimes we do. Ask Charles. We've had a couple of tough ones, and Jeff's been on a tough trip with me before as well. So you don't always go out there and smack them, but I don't go get skunked, that's for sure. But it was pretty cool to do a live stream, and within like 20-30 minutes put 5 fish in the boat for you guys. That was pretty epic, because most of the live stream was the trip up and just chatting and hanging with you guys, and then the launch and all that, and the drive across. So we only got like 20 or 30 minutes of actual fish time. So if you guys didn't get a chance, check that out. It's, I think, mobile or live at the lake or something like that. My last live stream from day before yesterday. that one was super cool. I was super excited to do that. So hopefully you guys like that kind of content. We're going to be doing that more. So, you know, when you guys see those, share those videos, like them. And one thing that helps out a lot, if you guys, is once these live streams are out, they become like a regular video, and you can actually go back, you can comment, you can like it, all that stuff, because what we're doing right here, this is a live stream chat replay. So that doesn't count towards like the video's comments, like regular comments. So you can still go in, you can share the video, you can comment on that. That helps the algorithm, helps other people get get access to the channel, because I've had a couple of videos do pretty good, but the algorithm hasn't been too kind to me. Not recently. Growing kind of slow, so I'm just doing me, chugging along, and appreciate everybody. So you guys are awesome. I think we got one of the coolest communities here. Hoping to build up a nice, cool channel over time, and just give you guys all the information and tools and tricks that I can for you guys to be successful anglers, you guys and gals, to be successful fisher women and men out there, and have a good time. And obviously, I like shooting the shite on these live streams, having a couple beers here and there, just having a good time. So if you guys like that, hit that like button, and thanks for joining. Now, anyways, I think I've got a couple more tips or tricks for summertime fishing that we're going to get into, and then we're going to leave the floor open to you guys. And obviously, I'll keep going, but this is where I usually like to interact with the audience, read your guys' comments, and shoot the shite with you guys, so to speak. Go down any rabbit holes, any questions, any stuff like that. So before we get into that, I think like I said, I really want to reiterate that again, my favorites are top water, cranking, or spinner baiting and moving stuff, so and jigs, right? However, I can't stress enough that you don't sleep on fishing over open water, houseboats, over 300 feet of water, 100 feet of water, using your graph, finding schools of bait fish, and learning how to pick fish off that way, because you don't want to put yourself into a box, especially if you tournament fish. It'd be a great way to get on fish when everybody else is just doing the same old. They're pounding the shoreline, they're hitting points and boulders and trees and every obvious thing up, while you may be out in 300 feet of water over what looks like just misery land, over a monster school of thousands of bass. So don't sleep on that stuff. Again, I'm not the know-all, be-all. I'm not a guide. I'm not a pro. I just like to give what tips or tricks I've seen throughout the years. I've seen a lot of guys catch fish a lot of different ways. Ultimately, in my opinion, you should do what is comfortable and what you are familiar with, but break outside of your box and do some new things, because that's how you expand and get better. Right? Like me picking up the swim bait and trying to get better than that. Like, for example, I've really gotten better with the blade bait, the LV500, and the jerk bait the last year or so. Well, I've always been really good with a crankbait and a spinner bait and a bottom bouncer. I've also really decently gotten a lot better at the jig. Jig was something I used to struggle with because we used to fish a lot of ponds, and I hated the jig and weeds. I just couldn't. I just hated a jig, and it was too big. It always collected too much crap. I didn't know how to pop the stuff off. So I always like to use like a worm, weightless, or Senko, or a little tiny bullet weight, or split shots, or top water, or whatever, popper, stuff like that. That's old school fishing. We used to pond fish a lot. So once you get into the lakes and you started, getting into other stuff, then you start expanding your horizons. And then you also can get trapped into that monotony of drop shotting and Ned rigging when you fish these lakes, trust me. So that's another thing. It all depends also on what body of water you're fishing. Are you fishing a river? Are you fishing, a lake, highland, lowland reservoirs? They all fish differently. So, for the summer, remember not to leave out open water, electronics, schooling fish, weightless Senkos, stuff like that, LV 500s and spoons, so with that being said, I think I've covered everything that I really wanted to cover to make sure that this was a legit fishing show tonight, that we gave out as much tips and tricks as possible. And now I'm ready for some fun. I do not have any beer with me. Casper is over there in the corner hanging out as always. But, you know, any questions, any tips, any things you guys want to go over, anything you want to share with me or the community? Floor is open. This is how we always do it here at Common Sense Fishing. Like I said, last hour, we pretty much have a good time. You should be a guide when you retire. That's my plan. Well, the problem right now is I'm a company. I'm small. I do HVAC. However, I do not feel comfortable and I do not like or want to take on stuff on the roof. So I'm relegated to fixing them for now or changing out units that are on the ground. It's just me. It's taking a little while to work up enough clientele. I'm staying okay. Hopefully I will survive. I'm being very honest. I don't like to talk about this kind of stuff, but hopefully financially I'll survive this year. I have no clue. I'm all on my own. I get no help. I get no benefits. I get no nothing. And yeah, we're already a month into summer, so, or you know what I mean? Not a month, but June should be blasting, and I'm doing okay. I'm just hoping July and August do even better. So the problem with someone like me is I've got to make enough money to live off of the whole year in 3 months, basically. Because in the wintertime, I'll have work come in, but in the Central Valley, it's just not that brutally bad. There's a lot of companies around, so the workload is a lot less, and yeah, so it's a little more cutthroat. But summertime, it's so hectic here. There's just so much crap blowing up, so many units going down. That no matter how many companies there are, there's always work. So with that being said, you know, I was thinking about maybe trying to get my guide license and guiding in between my days when I don't have work. And then once my company builds up enough, not dropping my guiding, but guiding to like only on the weekends or night fishing only, or maybe making myself only work a 4-day work week. And then the problem is when when you do get busy and you start doing HVAC, well, then making $200, $300, $400, $500 a day guiding, really, you're losing money then, right? When you guide, because then each day you work, you could be making more. But the idea is I do this because I love it. So looking at a positive work balance between life and work, I'm almost thinking I'd like to go for my guide license and do it 2-3 days a week and work 4 days a week, you know, or, you know, a day or two a week guiding and work the rest, and then, you know, balance the rest with my family. And that way I could also do YouTube still with my guiding trips. I could record guided trips. So the only thing is, I don't know if I want to be a guide because I got to put a ton of money into my boat. I got to get insurance. There's a lot of stuff with it. So we got a good local guide, Ryan Cook. He's a great guide. I don't like to step on any toes, but if I were to be a guide, I would be an all around. Like I'd like to guide on the Delta. I'd like to guide at Maloney's, Pedro, McClure, Eastman, Hensley, Tulick, Amador, Comanche, Berryessa, Pardee. I'd like to learn every damn stinking lake within like a 2.5 hour trip from me and get good at them. So that way I keep bringing you guys great content, share that with everybody else, help everybody learn how to fish their waters. And also for the people who are out of state, I like to fish different bodies of water within my state to try to replicate the bodies of water that may be in yours. So maybe I need to be fishing a few more river systems, a few more rivers, maybe some ponds and creeks. Get out there and maybe fish some canyon stuff that's real deep and steep, like up by Moccasin Point at Pedro, or get down and fish a lowland lake like Clear Lake or like Eastman, you know. So a couple of different options ahead of me. I'm not quite sure, right? That's life. Is you can sometimes make this advanced plan and just life will throw all these crazy ass monkey wrenches in it. So I guess I've been a master not only procrastinator, but a master wing it. like a dude that could just wing it in life and on the fly just try to adapt with it. That's kind of what I'm doing. That's what we're all doing in life, right? We're just winging it. Some of us, some people just plan and so looks like Steven's destroying our internet connection right now. He's got the internet in his room. Yeah, those sound like a great time. Yeah, I know. So what's your territory? Yeah, that's kind of it. So from Fresno up to Sacramento area, pretty much all the way near the bay and the mountains. And again, just to do it for my pleasure, for the fun, for the YouTube videos, it would be cool to create a little little fishing empire out here. Create a couple of cool little businesses, I guess you would say, off of it, and or even collaborate with other YouTubers and help create a cool community. That's kind of the idea of what I'm doing right now, is just trying to, I'm not very competitive. I am in real life, and I love catching fish, and I want to catch all the fish, but I like supporting other YouTubers. I like supporting other channels. If your content's good, I'll go watch it. I'll send people over there, so I just like to be positive and share the love of fishing, really. That's what this channel is all about. If you guys want to talk about all kinds of other stuff, you want to go down the rabbit holes, you guys want to talk about news, opinions, sports more, again, we do that on these live streams. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, all the doors are open to talk about stuff other than fishing. However, if you go support my other channel, Common Sense Talks, that one is the one where I'm trying to build a different channel separate from this, where we talk about other subjects, because I want to try to keep the two separate. And then hopefully those of you who've come to love the channel, if we disagree on political stuff or news or everything, it's not the end of the world. I love you, you love me, right, Barney? The idea, though, is that I think we can all agree to disagree, and that's why I don't want to bring that stuff onto this channel. I don't want to alienate and lose my viewers. But if you guys are interested in learning more about me and other crazy cool stuff we can talk about, Common Sense Talks, it's my other channel. Be happy to look it up if you want and go check it out. I'd be happy if you guys go subscribe. But in the meantime, this is where we do most of our stuff. So I'm going to actually be going and shooting a few videos for that channel. I haven't did anything on it for a few weeks. Sometimes I'm gone for a couple weeks, a month, and then I'll upload a week or two's worth of content, and then I disappear for a while because I'm focusing on this channel, and my subscriber count's very low on my other channel. Let's just say that. So if you guys get a chance, you guys go look at it, check it out. But yeah. Heck yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm trying to work on getting some hats. This is some test shirts right here. So I've got a stretchy, breathable. This is like that silky, like it feels good UV shirt. And we're going to be putting some logos on this. I do have some regular plain t-shirts that we have the logo on. But really, if you guys are interested, you can reach out. I can custom make you guys one. 20 bucks a shirt, nothing fancy. Because again, I don't have a lot of the stuff. So there, once we get a Teespring store, I could make shirts that be cheaper, much more affordable, and I can actually partner up with YouTube. We got to get 10,000 subs. Once we get 10,000 subs, I can actually start selling merch. And I would love to make a Common Sense Fishing mug, even coffee cup, take it in the morning when you go drinking, a hat, a shirt, the whole 9 yards. The UV protecting gear with some fancy labels on it. I want to come up with some slogans and stuff, my BAM, all that other kind of cool stuff, put it on a shirt, or just say Common Sense Fishing. That way, when other people see you on the water, they know you're a supporter of the show or a viewer. So you catch the banana on the Delta. You guys know the routine. You might just be chilling one day out on the lake and seeing this random fool smashing around in a banana outfit. That's probably me. Probably yours truly. So we have a lot of fun on this channel. We like to do a lot of cool stuff here. You know, I am, again, working on getting, hopefully, some people to come in and do the live stream with me to have, you know, some visitors and also live streaming from the lake. That's something I'm super interested in doing more of. So I'm going to look into getting a solar charger so that we can get more than a few hours of video. I just got to make sure I have the phone placed in a shaded area so that it doesn't get too much direct heat. It won't overheat in the sun, and we can shoot videos all day and live stream. The direct 100-degree heat probably not going to be doable. The phone will overheat after a while. And throw the live stream. But if we go, say, afternoons, we could probably record from 5 till 9, or I could come out and shoot like 5 in the morning till about 11 or 12 in the afternoon. So, but I don't know how you guys would feel about watching a live stream that early. But, you know, I could record it. No, I can't do, see, like I can do shirts through, like I can go through a company and then sell the shirts randomly. Like you can reach out to me, you can email me, you can message me, you can text me, and I can have shirts made, right? So I could go to Teespring and other stuff like that, order a bunch of shirts, and then I could sell them just like, you know, like Cook sells his shirts and everybody else sells theirs. But if I want to sell them through YouTube, like an actual below my picture, you know, below the thumbnail where you see pictures of all the things and you can actually click on them and buy them through YouTube. I got to hit 10,000 subs to do that. So we're almost there. One of the cool things is I do have access to super chats and I have access to memberships. So one of the cool things is sometimes when we get trolled, or we get a large audience on here, it has happened, we'll have guys donate through the super chat, or they'll just super chat to screw with us. We had a couple of trolls super chat like 20 or 30 bucks at us just to say something kind of like trolly and mean, but I read it and I had fun with it and I didn't care, you know. And you know, so that's another source of revenue is the super chats and the memberships. So those of you guys who are members, that really supports the channel a lot. So I want to say thank you guys. And just the subscribers too. Don't feel left out. Thank you guys so much, because the subscribers are what gets me my ad revenue, which is, you know, I'm only making about 80 bucks a month on YouTube right now. I'll be very honest with you guys. I'll explain it. You know, I've looked at other YouTubers, and I think when you get around the 80 to 90,000 subscriber mark, you start making 3,000 to 5,000 after taxes from YouTube videos and from some mixed revenue, basically. So somebody like Greg Blanchard is probably bringing home 3,000 to 5,000 every month doing their YouTube channel. Somebody like Tactical Bassin and Milliken are probably making like 10,000 to 20,000 a month. They may be at $250,000 a year or something, and maybe even more once you get endorsements, once you get you know, sponsors, then once you can sell merch and you got all this other cool community, whatever spectrum or side of the yeah, you can super chat for the drawings if you'd like, and I take the money that way. YouTube takes a percentage of it, but I don't care either way. It's support. Yeah, I have a tripod. You guys are on a tripod right now, so I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna take it out, and I can put everything on the tripod. But I do need, and I'm gonna get a portable battery pack and also a solar charger. But I need to get a little shade port so that I can prop it up like an umbrella, and then I set everything in it facing out, and then the sun behind it, because the sun will really jack the cell phone. It'll overheat it, and then it won't be able to use any of the programs. So daytime fishing is a challenge in 100-degree weather if I'm going to live stream. But I'll figure it all out, and I'm going to be bringing you guys some cool content. Believe you me, we're going to be doing a lot more fun stuff, live streaming from the lakes, Like I said, I'm working on getting some better sound and video equipment here. I've got a mic. So I've got a mic now. I can run my audio through the mic instead of the webcam. I've got to set it up, excuse me, and I need my little mic stand. I lost it. So I got to go buy a little mic stand. You guys will see a little mic setup right here. I'll be talking into the mic. Hopefully the audio quality is going to be a lot better, and hopefully that'll get me some more viewers, because I do know that I'm sure some people who don't know about the channel, aren't aware how fun it is and all the cool stuff we do. They click on, they hear about 30 seconds of the sound quality, and they're like, eh, and they click off. You know, this is how the internet is. So hopefully by upgrading my sound and video quality, that'll also help the algorithm push the channel more. So super stoked to watch it grow. But seriously, I mean, can you imagine building something where maybe it takes me 5 or 10 years, but work hard, honest work ethics, and treat everybody fairly, and spread the truth and love for bass fishing, and actually show people what I'm using, how I'm using it, where I'm catching fish. That would be cool to see this channel grow, because that would be you know, an awesome thing to be able to do what I love for a living, and not necessarily rely on climbing ladders and getting on roofs and burning myself in 100-degree sun all day fixing air conditioners. You know, I love what I do in that aspect too, because I love taking care of people. You know, when they're hot, I like being able to fix their air conditioner and make them cool. I like the money that it brings, but that's some really brutal, tough work, and it's not that. That's why the idea is I start my own company. I'll work hard for a few years, and hopefully I hire some employees, and then I'm able to also share in the community, right? Hire local workers and put my money back into the community and provide a couple people or more with a good, steady paying job with benefits and all that great stuff. That'd be awesome. But this is really my passion, is fishing, right? I don't really want to be a professional bass fisherman, in that, like, I'd love to go to Texas, New York there, but I don't want to be like a Skeet Reese. I don't want to be someone that's away from my family every day, like Ish Monroe, fishing every state, every day, a new lake, a new state. I mean, that's cool, but I'd get burned out. And honestly, too, I already worry about skin cancer, spots, and weird stuff on my body, skin tags and crap, right? So that happens from the sun. So, you know, I don't also want to be in the sun all day either, 100%. So this YouTube is a way. I think it's a pretty cool outlet. And I think a lot of fishing channels are really sleeping on the live stream portion of it. So I know it's a long-winded rant, but if you go and you look at who are your favorite YouTubers, now what videos do you watch other than fishing, a lot of them probably do live streams, or, you know, these bigger channels, if you look, they may premiere or live stream their stuff. And so there's a lot of more doors open to you than if you just go out, record videos, and upload them. So anyways, long-winded rant, but yeah, for those of you who are also into YouTube or branching out into stuff like that, that's why I recommend making sure you do all the aspects, you know, live stream, upload videos, and you got to be consistent too, because that's where I get all sad whenever I miss a live stream. I'm like, no, I missed tonight. Oh goodness, I feel like I let everybody down. Like, no, I got to make it up to them the next day. So yeah, I'm willing to share everything, the spot that I use, the actual lures that I use. I won't like post a video of like a swim bait or Nate rig, right? And then blast it like I'm catching this on that. And then 90% of my fish came on a drop shot in the video, and that one fish that came on the swim bait, like clickbaity or, you know, or lie. I don't also catch fish and then get them in the boat and then hook them onto a different lure or pole, toss them back in, and then hit record. I'm sure guys do that crap too. You know, catch a 4-pounder on a jig, pull it in, take it off, put it in the live well, and an hour later throw it on their swim bait, let it go, and then hit record. Oh, I just got a 4-pounder on a hinkle or whatever. You know, there's all kinds of crap I'm sure people can pull. For me, it's just I try to go out and have fun, and Be real and share everything, and let the chips fall where they may. And even I'm willing to go tournament fish against you or anybody else for that matter and lose. Don't matter. It's all about having fun. It's all about the sportsmanship, the having a good time, mingling with other fishermen, and then the chance and the excitement. I like it. It's like a little gamble. You know what I mean? Shoot. I may turn around and blast videos of me catching a ton of fish on jigs, and then come tournament night because of that, you could lose. You know, so what? I'm not a bass pro, but if I can help put you guys on more fish, you know that feeling you get when you hook a fish and you fight it and you land it, especially when it's like when it's your first few years, that emotion, that adrenaline, that's what I want to share. That's what I want to share, right? And I think there's a niche, and I think there's a valuable market in that too. Not everybody's got to be a bass pro. Not everybody's got to be, fancy schmancy. Just if you can help people catch fish, that's a tremendous thing in itself. Because back when I was a kid, we didn't have YouTube. We didn't have all this crap. How's it going? What's up, 209 Bassin? So. Yeah, I try to go out and fish and do get content when I can, or I'm working. A lot of times when I miss the live stream, I'm literally beating myself up on some roof somewhere in 100-degree or in an attic. I'm sweating balls and I'm fixing air conditioners. A couple of times so far this summer, I've worked until 1 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the morning when I've had particularly bad days. 110 make it the same day or the next day because everybody in town's booked a week out. So I handle my calls as they come in, and I try to earn everybody's respect and trust. And I give out my business cards, try to always ask for reviews. So, take care of people. Same thing with my live stream and fishing channel. I hope it shows through that I'm genuine. I'm not this fake ass out here trying to guys, and I don't try to maybe my thumbnails. I don't put a lot of whoever I don't try to flash up stuff. I don't try to make a turd look shiny. I ain't saying this is a turd, but you know what I mean? I don't try to overly embellish on the show. I like just being real, having a good time, connecting with you guys and gals, and just it's fun. I don't know, it's fun, especially these live streams. It's cool. It's something that is very new to humanity in itself, being able to reach out to other humans like this and connect with such a large audience. So I'm super stoked to share. Hope I help you guys catch more fish. And if anything, just crack once a night, crack a smile, laugh, joke, and just enjoy the show, like some genuine entertainment, right? Instead of tuning in to get preached to or to get you know what I'm saying? I want this to be fun, entertaining, educational. That's kind of the idea. That's why I'm out in the bananas sometimes. That's why I'm cracking my beers. And of course, I'm sure it hurts the channel when I admit that there's a friendly ghost that hangs out in the corner. There's some tightwads that don't like that. But I'm me, so. Live stream from a roof to say drink a beer for you. Oh, man, Oh. Oh, no problem that you haven't been in the chat, 209 Bassin. I'm super glad to have you here. So thank you for everybody who's here on the channel. If you guys get a chance, smash that like button. That really helps. But let's read a couple comments here. So you're the only live stream I care to watch. Thanks, LFI know. Brother, that's what separates you from the most is you're willing to share. I think I read that earlier. Thank you. Very herky-jerky feed right now. Sorry about that. I think my brother was messing with the internet. Yeah, you can super chat for the drive through. You down for another night trip? I got a toy donation. Yes, I am. Thank you very much, Charles. Just let me know. Sometime next week would probably be the best time or after. I know we got 4th of July weekend is going to be hectic, so we want to go for some time after that. And live stream from a roof. True story. So I've got a music. You got musical, right? So for any of you guys who haven't known, or if you're new to the channel, I rap as well. So hopefully that don't kill a bunch of my viewers. But yeah, I'm musical. I love country. I love rock. I love rap. I love hip hop. I love even electronic dance type music to an extent. As long as it's good and it's not offensive to the ears, I like almost all music, right? So I've got a song called "Drunk on the Rooftop."
And I think it goes something like, drunk on the rooftop, watching the sun rays, deep in thought, reminiscing on old days, how it was, how it is, man, things change. Yeah, that's how it goes. So that's something I used to do as a kid, get on the roof and get hella drunk and fall asleep on the roof watching the stars. We used to get up on the roof and drink 40s all the time when we were in our late teens, early 20s. That was something that yeah, been there, done that. I don't know how good that'll do. Oh, if you're talking about live stream on a roof while I'm fixing the air conditioner, yeah, I've done a couple of videos. I do a few little air conditioning and heating videos sometimes. Hope you guys don't mind those. I'll upload them every once in a while. Heating and air conditioning, tip or trick or little video to help remind people how to save money or what to do for their air conditioner. But that kind of stuff I think belongs on my other channel. But again, if you guys want to go support that channel, it's real small. Common Sense Talks. So they don't have a huge reach yet. So yeah, we got Air Serv 2 weeks out at work, 2 to 3 weeks. Nice. So 209 Bassin, you're over at Air Serv, right? Or you guys got them out over 2 to 3 weeks at your location. Yeah. Well, you guys know another contractor. If you need any help, I'm here. I'm not out 2 to 3 weeks. I'm able to come work tomorrow. So I have one job tomorrow, 2 today. I had 4 or 5 yesterday. And then sometimes I don't have any work for a few days, So it's a tough gig working for your own self. And then people got to it's hard to earn people's trust. So yeah, I just do what I do. Yeah, I know you do apartment maintenance. So, but if you guys ever need any help, I'm here. But I know how it is. You got to go through the upper channels, and then most companies are locked in with a specific company. They give them specific rates, yada, yada. What I really need to do is draft up a price book of all my repairs and stuff and go drop it off with a business card at all the rental properties and all the landlord places and stuff like that, and all the apartments, so they know how reasonably and competitive I am. And I guarantee you I'll get a few business that way, just by damn, this guy's licensed, he's legit, and he's affordable, and he's available. Oh, what are we waiting for? Give him a call, right? But juggling, a lot of stuff going on right now. And again, this is what I love doing, so here's what I'm doing. Doing a lot of fishing and this live stream stuff. I pour my heart out into my HVAC business too, but it's I only have so much money to afford on marketing. So it's a slow grind at first. I could imagine here within a year or two, my HVAC business will probably be booming and out of control. Hire a few guys hopefully by next year. I was hoping to hire one by the end of this summer, but I don't think it's going to happen. So we'll get there eventually. Getting there eventually. Yeah. A lot of independent contractors don't like it because of the certain pricing and stuff. But that's where I was saying, I'm pretty cheap. So a lot of independents don't like that because they like being able to gouge or charge whatever they want. But for me, I'm willing to get my foot in the door to get some business going on. But it is what it is as well. So for me, I'm not also out chasing it, That's kind of what I guess I should be in a sense, but I'm ethical and honest, and I let the work come to me. And I take really good care of my people, and I do a lot of my works through word of mouth and referrals, Facebook, and I do have Angie's List and Home Advisor. I put some Craigslist ads out. I get a little bit of work through there, but most of it's friends, family, Facebook, people on YouTube that might know me, and also referrals. And again, Angie's List, Home Advisor, so that helps out. But anyways, enough about my HVAC crap. Ugh. What about you guys? Happy hump day. I wish this was a beer. I got a Monster I'm smashing. Casper's over there. Gonna need that after this. Oh, goodness. I should not have done that. That was a warm Monster. I should get a like just for doing that. Goodness. But anyways, yeah, it's a interesting interesting time for me right now. So it's a little scary and a little stressful, but I kind of, like I said, I'm a master at winging it, and I hide my stress and bury it pretty well. So I don't like to stress out or share it with my family too much. So I don't let them know what I'm going through. So I just keep keep a smile on my face and go about it. And to be very honest, God or whoever or whatever has been really looking out for me. And whenever it seems like things are getting bad, I mean, I've lost a son, I've lost my mom, I've been divorced, I've been homeless. Bad things do happen. But what I'm saying is when they do happen, though, there's always something good that happens afterwards. And sometimes, instead of bad things happening, it seems like damn near every time something bad's about to happen, I get saved by the grace of somebody. You know, right when I need money for a bill, I went on a lottery ticket. Right when I need money to pay my this or that, a call comes in. Right when I stress on how much is in the bank, a replacement comes in and it helps. Right when I get stressed on my views or the YouTube channel, a video does good. It's I don't know. It's been like that most of my life. Just lucky, I guess. I don't know. But bad things have happened. You could say that, but then yeah, I've lost my son. I've been homeless. Like I said, my mom's passed away. My whole family damn near died, like all my grandparents before I was like 12, and they all died in a certain range, like the adolescent range, where it was real hard on me. Like 8 to 12 years old, I lost like 7 family members. And then my mom, my son, and I had a son that was taken away from me too, basically, and put up for adoption that I never got to meet. So, but like I said, though, after all that crap, man, I still can't help but look at it like it's like I got a guardian angel. And every time something really bad's about to happen, I get saved by the grace of God. So I've just been taking life the last, just wing it and be happy. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to have a family, a house, a job, a boat. I'm happy to have a YouTube channel. You got to look at life as the cup is half full, not half empty. Same thing with fishing is I think a lot of it's up here. When you get out there and you're struggling and you're having a hard time catching fish, you just got to remember that bite eventually will come. And if you're not expecting it, if you don't think it's going to come, you're not ready for it. When it does come, a lot of the times you miss it, right? Like opportunities. But if you're prepared, if you're expecting it, and even if things are shitty and life's throwing monkey wrenches at you, as long as you know that tunnel is there and you just keep trudging one step forward, eventually you do. You get that bite, right? You get that fish. You stick it out. So, didn't mean to go crazy down a rabbit hole, but yeah, exactly. I'll be all right. It's just what happens is sometimes, you get in your own head. So I know I'm going to be fine. That's why I'm so happy to have a trade. You see what I mean? Like if I was just a like a cashier or like a manager or somebody, like I just did a job that wasn't very skilled. Like it just required me to pick a box up and move it, or required me to stand there and just, hello, hi, I'm Sam. Thank you for shopping it. Whatever. Can I help you? Or, how's your day? Like just customer service rep, cashier, or any kind of, or just like a warehouse worker. You're a lot of workers in life are treated like material or slaves, or treated like they could be thrown away. They get used up and then tossed out. So having a trade or a skill like fishing, you can always fish and feed your family or feed yourself if you're starving. But like HVAC, having a skill or a trade like HVAC, that's something nobody will ever be able to take away from me. And the cool thing is, the longer that I have this skill or knowledge and I'm doing it, the more business or more people, the more things I'm going to do with it. So I'm excited for the future. It's just kind of rocky. It's not bad. It's just unknown. It's like being in outer space. It's uncharted territory. But isn't that life? You could be a millionaire or rich and death can come for you tomorrow. You can be poor and, miserable, and you can work your way out of that, or you could just chill and wallow in your misery, right? So I'm just super happy to have these opportunities, which is why I love sharing with everybody because, like I said, when I was a kid and when I was growing up, I only had Jeremy to teach me how to fish or share fishing stuff with me. I couldn't afford a Bassmaster magazine. They didn't have YouTube, right? And so I love turning people on to the love of fishing and sharing this stuff. So I don't know. I just get excited doing all this. My heating and air, the YouTube thing. And it's cool because it's a legit business now. Like I legit get paid $80 a month or more on YouTube. So I mean, that's $800 a year. That's a little something, right? That's two truck payments. That's something, better than nothing. Because I'd still be fishing anyways. So why not record it? Record what I love doing and share it with everybody. I'm not a bass pro, so why don't I share? And even if I was one, it's like I said, I don't really want to have. I don't have a dream of driving around the states and competing with everybody. Locally, sure, I fished tournaments and have fun and may the best man win. Women, man, whatever. May the best fisher person win. So I don't want to be too PC correct. May the best fisherman win. So you know what I mean? That's why I love sharing the information with you guys. Oh, yeah. Did I make it out to the Striper tournament? Dude, I so wanted to. Super bad. But that day was my buddy's birthday, and I went out to celebrate it with him out in out at the Quarry Lakes out in Fremont in the Bay Area. So it was nice to get out of the summer heat, and it was only like 70 something degrees out there. He threw an awesome barbecue, had super bomb ribs and tri-tip. Oh, it was so awesome. I wanted to make that trip though, super bad. I tell you what, I'm going to try to make a bunch of them. Like when I see stuff like that, please tag me and invite me. I'm more than happy to come down and fish with people and meet new people. It's just if I have a prior engagement, like I'm not going to, blow that off. So, oh yeah, if I ever fish Folsom. Well, that's a Berryessa one. That's Shasta. Is this Folsom first place? There we go. Try to tighten it. All right. Folsom. First place. Future Pro Tour. Been a while. I need to do some more tournament fishing. Got a lot of crap I'm juggling, So, we got to hopefully that'll focus in. There we go. All right, the camera had a little issue there focusing, but yeah. And then 209 bass and Folsom is brutally tough sometimes. It can be an awesome lake. It's a love it or hate it relationship with that lake. Sometimes it's on fire, magical, and we're tearing them up, and then sometimes it seems like a desert. You can't find a fish anywhere. You're just lost. Hopeless, no bites, no fish. Like what the hell is going on? That lake is so weird. It's been good to me and been very bad to me. I'll be very honest. Yes, I have some trophies from that lake, but that lake has kicked my butt. I've been on TV on Comcast fishing that lake. We fished the Future Pro Tour. That first place trophy came out of a rubber raft. We fished against a 100-boat field and came in first place in a rubber raft. How you doing? They thought we were cheating or we had fish tied up. But they actually caught us on video catching fish. Like we were. It was one of the years they actually broadcast the Future Pro Tour on network cable, and they were making a big stinking fuss, like in a good way, about how we were in a raft competing against all these $60,000+ bass boats, and we actually, were stroking them. And Vince used that story for like a few years while Jeremy was there to just promote the hell out of like the Future Pro Tour and say, everybody come fish, little boat, big boat, because it has a real bad reputation, the Future Pro Tour, of just not being the fairest circuit. And a lot of it, I think, is a lot of the upper echelon guys in that circuit all talk. They're a very close-knit group, and they're all semi-professional, very good fishermen. So what happens is it's a big circuit too, and they get 60 to 100 boats to show up every time. And basically, it's like that top 10 dudes is splitting everybody else's money every trip because they're a little crew of insiders. They go to the lake, they tear it up, they figure out where the fish are at, and they tell each other. I'm catching them here, I'm catching them there, getting them on this lure, that lure. Then they go out, and it's like just a tournament between them 10 boats. And the other 90 boats, you just donated your money because they always come in. The first through 10th place at a Future Pro Tour are all the same damn names over and over. And yes, it's because they're very good fishermen. So what happens to the regular Joes who want to fish like a circuit like the River Rat Series or the Merced Bass Club? You know, those bass holes at Future Pro Tour just rate and they take your money. That's just how it felt, you know. Yeah, and so when we went in there with our little raft tearing it up, Vince was just pumping it like, hey, everybody come fish. Look, these little dudes in the rubber raft can win. You know, you can win. Oh, and it was super fun. Still to this day, Vince knows who I am for sure, but Vince really remembers Jeremy because he fished it another couple years out of the raft and then out of a tin can. I actually graduated to an 86 champion and fished it for about a year. Fished 1 year. I went to the Classic. I didn't do very good, you know, because I think what happened is I was new partner and first time in a boat. And when you're in a raft, you're really forced to pick a certain area of the lake and you live or die by it. And you have to fish very slow and thoroughly. You can't run and gun in a raft. So there is no covering water much. There's no bouncing. If you're going to pick a side and you're going to fish that hole. You're going to fish it real thorough, shallow, deep, this, that. And when you're in a bass boat, you can smash around and your brain can get going too fast sometimes. Oh, they're not here. They should be biting top water, and you're fishing. No. And then you take off to another spot. No. And you take off to another spot. Oh, maybe I'm going to try this. And then you do it, and then you take off to another spot. So sometimes running and gunning can hurt you until you learn how to balance it and learn how to read the situation. So your first year in a boat that moves faster than 10 miles an hour, if you've ever transitioned from something like that, from shore fishing or raft fishing or whatever, and you get into a boat, it can be a little bit of a challenge learning the differences. Fishing from the shore, you're bringing your lure up. Fishing from a boat, you're almost always bringing it downhill. There's a lot of differences in the dynamics and how you fish. And you may have been a really good shore fisherman and catch a ton of bass and then get in a boat and actually suck horribly. And that's usually because when you were on shore, you fished a lot slower and more thorough. And then you get in the boat and you start fishing too fast. So if you find yourself struggling, think about that little tip right there, because I struggled for a year like that. Yeah, very low water. How's that lake? Oh, Folsom? I've heard Folsom is super brutal as far as the lake level right now. I think there is only one ramp still open, and it's way in the back. I don't think the main ramps are open right now. I think there's only one ramp open at Folsom. I haven't been to Folsom in last time I've been to Folsom was 2012, 9 years ago. Last time I was at Folsom. Been a while. So let's put it this way. I don't go to that lake unless there's a tournament there that I'm supposed to go for. It's not that it's a horrible lake, but it's so far from me that if I'm going to go all the way up to Folsom, I'm going to Clear Lake. What the hell? There's only another hour past it, you know. I mean, from Sacramento, hour and a half. Might as well just keep on trucking and go to the real lake. What am I screwing around at Folsom for if I could go to Clear Lake? And then about the same distance from here to Folsom would be about here to Berryessa. I'd rather fish that. So, or the Delta. The Delta is better than both of them. I like the Delta a lot, but Delta's tricky. You know, I smashed my boat at the Delta. I crashed. Freaking, you know, there's the big boats, the ski boats. There's a lot of wind at the Delta. The Delta's huge. So the Delta's got its own set of challenges too. So I love my little mother lode lakes up here. McClure, Don Pedro, New Maloney's, Tulick. I go to that little triangle up there, all within a 2-hour drive at most, hour and a half, and I can hit 4 or 5 different lakes, or more even. I can hit Amador, I can hit Pardee, I can hit Amador, Pardee, Comanche, Tulick, Maloney's, Don Pedro, McClure, if I didn't say it, Eastman, Hensley, Los Banos Creek Reservoir. Those are my stomping grounds because they're all within a short little period here. 2 ramps are open, low, and don't drive over 5. Wow, really? So they're they got 2 ramps open now, huh? So they're giving you a ticket if you go over 5 miles an hour on Folsom? Must be super crazy low then. And problem is when a lake's that low, if the submerged obstacles aren't marked, it don't matter if you're going 50 or you're going 5 miles an hour. You smash into them, you're done. You're going to smash your boat up. You're going to jack your prop, your lower end. You can put a hole in the boat. Going 10 miles an hour, you hit a boulder and you hit it on your actual hole. That's not going to be fun. Damn, that sucks. Well, there's another reason I'm not going to Folsom, but at the same time, to be honest, it's not the speed limit I could care less about. I'll putter around on a lake all day and be happy. But when it becomes dangerous, when it's extremely low and there's a lot of rocks and debris, especially if you don't know the lake. Like, for example, one lake I'll fish that's kind of dangerous and low is Eastman. I know that lake extremely well. I'll fish it in the daytime. I know not to run. I know where all the stuff's at. I know where the open water's at. So that lake doesn't scare me as much. Now, at nighttime, Eastman's a different story. I don't like smashing around at Eastman at night. You got to be very careful there at night. But you know what I mean? Almost any lake, you got to be real careful at night. But there's certain ones I almost won't fish at night because they're just too dangerous. That's why I don't do the windy nighters anymore. The Delta is just too savage at nighttime. I don't want to smash my boat, hit it. I don't want to ground out. So that's why I don't do the Wednesday windy nighters. If they were in the afternoon and they were done by sundown or something, yeah, I'd fish them. But nighttime's freaky for me on the Delta. I don't know. On the main, maybe not so much, but there's a couple places that I'd smash to that I'd be scared. Like Frank's Track. See, Wednesday windy nighters come out of Lads. I'd probably just smash right out, stay on the main, and then probably go up towards my little special area. I guess I could probably go fish a couple of them. But I would be limited in my spots. So, for example, I wouldn't really feel comfortable smashing down by Garlic Brothers and Ben Holt from a Wednesday windy nighter, or going down by Lost Isle, or shooting up too much when you get into those real shallows on the right where the Tulies are at. You can ground out real bad, especially if you don't know, you can't tell if it's low tide, high tide. So, oh yeah, Navionics helps, but I've seen it where I've heard stories where they glitch, or they tell you you're in one spot and then your GPS pin is really in another, and they tell you don't use your map to drive at night because you may assume you're doing fine. So for me, yeah, I would really love to have my map and I trust it. But one of the things I like to do is if I'm in pitch black at night and I shut the screen, well, I don't have a screen. First of all, I don't have a fish finder near my driver's seat. I need to get one. So I don't have a back fish finder. I only have one up front by the trolling motor. So any light would first of all blind me if I had a light, even in like nighttime mode. So I shut everything off. I run dark and I just have my little light on the back, right? And at nighttime, you can see, even when it's pitch black, you can see the color shade difference between the sky, the land, and the water. They all have different colors because even though it's all pitch black, it's dark as hell and there's no light, even if it's overcast and there's no stars, even then, with just like the small amount of ambient light you will get from other things and 1 or 2 stars or just even through the clouds, what you get shining through, and versus even city light from 100 miles away, just the ambient, it's never going to be on Earth, at least in most of our areas, pitch black. And even then, like I said, once you've been out on it for a while and your eyes have gotten used to it, you can see the differences. Like, for example, I was out at New Maloney's smashing about 30 on the way home the other night. And sure enough, I caught an island come out of nowhere and slowed and went right around it because I could see. But if, eyesight was just a little bit worse, it would have smashed right into it. And Navionics wouldn't have known it was there. Because of the changing lake levels. One thing I would strongly recommend is to use your, or maybe it would have, but some maps wouldn't have caught it. A topographical map is real important because it can show you where the islands are potentially at any time. So even if the lake's full, whatever, but if the lake starts to lower, how do you know where the islands are not? Because the lake may look like one big opening, but if you got a bunch of islands, usually the Navionics will not show you that island is out of the water or not. So my point is GPS doesn't adjust as the lake adjusts. So for example, if you were at a lake and you had your map on and the lake's full and you can shoot all the way across it and you can drive everywhere, well, when that lake drops 50%, and now the map shows the lake at its levels full. So it doesn't really help you with it low, if that makes sense. So topographical maps are really important, I think, and knowing your lake. So for example, if you want to night fish a lake, go fish it in the daytime for a little bit and memorize and learn where all the hazard and all this stuff's at, so that when you're out night fishing, you're just a little more confident. At least that's my tip, because in the end, I think it's not as bad as we're making it out to seem, but it's like it's in your head, right? If you're confident and not stupid though, and just don't, and you pay attention, and you plan it, then you have fun. But if you get scared and you're worried, you're putting around, worried that you're going to hit everywhere, it's not as much fun. The trip isn't as much fun. So, oh yeah, usually always solid bags. That's what I'm saying. I might want to go jump in on one. I know a couple of the the YouTube bass fishermen do the Wednesday windy nighter, so I might want to go jump in on one and see how it goes. I've got a particular battle plan I know that I would probably do. If I fished a Wednesday windy nighter, I'll tell you guys right now, in my first one, that if I do it, all I'm going to do is shoot out of lads, get into the main channel where I feel that I'm safe and I can haul balls, and I'm going to smash all the way up to Lois Park, and I'm going to fish my Apothecary Cove over there. We call it Dad's Point. That's not really Dad's Point. It's a different spot, but it's by Smith Canal and Lois Park. I'm just going to stay in there and square bill top water and bottom bounce, and I'll do circles in that thing all night, even low tide, high tide. I won't even leave and live or die by that spot, because that spot kicks out monsters, and it'll reload. So it would be cool to see how I do. I'd be willing to do that, but other than that, I'd stay away from most of the other spots because I can't see the Delta at night. I know some decent spots on the Delta that I'd run to in the daytime, but at nighttime I'm not gonna risk it. So I do know a couple places I feel comfortable running literally 50 miles an hour or whatever you can, whatever the speed limit is at night, but you got to be careful. So, but I'm looking forward to getting out and doing some different things. So yeah, a Wednesday windy nighter maybe in the future here soon. But I'm focused more on wrapping up this night fishing for you guys here in the next couple trips. I want to hunt down some, as soon as I get another big beast or two and enough, over 5, I think I'm going to wrap up night fishing for a little while and then focus more on some daytime fishing again. So they're just so you could see better. Also, because not everybody's night fishing. So I want to make sure that I'm staying current and relevant, giving tips and tricks on how to daytime fish as well as nighttime fish. So I wouldn't want to leave anybody behind. Make sure that I cover stuff for everybody. And again, if you guys want to see me fish a specific type of lure, body of water, or break something down for you guys, I would be more than happy to do it. Like I said, we all do things differently, so you never know. You might learn something. I might learn something. And if not, it's just, again, I want to try to be entertaining and fun. So that's hence why I sprinkle in things like the banana outfit, all that stuff. And we're always cracking jokes and having a good time. And if Jeremy's fishing with me, we're usually always going to be up to some kind of shenanigans and tomfoolery. So those videos always have a very comedic spin to them. So whenever you see me out with Bass Chaffel or Jeremy, one of my best friends, I've known him for like 30 years, those fishing trips almost always go off the rails and they're fun as hell. So pay attention for those. Me and Virgil, when we go fishing, usually there's some nice jokes, fun time to be had. Sometimes, though, I get real serious and I get out there and I'm breaking stuff down and trying to help, So I like to have a lot of different flavors on the channel, so to speak. All right, so it's 8:30. We got about a half an hour left or so. Does anybody have any questions, any topics, any things you guys want to go over? As always, the floor is yours. So I'm going to leave that open to you guys. So you guys let me know anything you guys want to talk about. Open book right now. I'm going to be closing this live stream out here in the next half hour. So you know how I like to do it here. Nice. How did I do at Maloney's the other day? We got about 15, maybe 20 fish between the two of us all night long. So we got 5, I think, in front of you guys. And then as soon as I turned the live stream off, I want to say we got another 10. And then we struggled to catch maybe another 5 or so, when it got really, really, really dark. So we did good, though. We got some 2 and almost 3-pound spotted bass. So yeah, we had a good time. We did really good. Not like super crazy good. Like we didn't kill it. Like me and Jay, we went out and I have to say that we kind of struggled at first, and we had maybe 10 or 12 or so fish by like 1 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock. And we went to a specific spot on a wall and we started crankbaiting left and right, left and right. I had to have caught in the course of an hour, 20 something fish along about a 120-foot stretch of wall. And we just went back up and down this wall multiple times. I don't have it on video, but I lost one that was probably 6 to 8 pounds on the square bill right at the boat. And I lost one on a jig that was easily 5+. Never saw it, but the fight was monstrous. So it was at least a 4 to 5, if not way bigger. I have no clue. Didn't see it, can't put a weight scale on it. However, the square bill fish busted off right at the trolling motor. The hook got caught in the trolling motor, and that's how the fish got off. Lucky bastard. He bit right by the boat. So I was reeling it in, and he just hammered me. Boom! And I had a lot of fish doing that. So I set and I started reeling. No idea what it is. And the fish doesn't dive. It doesn't do anything. It just instantly comes up right here. And it gets stuck. The hook's in the mouth of the bass, and the other hook gets right into the transducer cable, into the sheathing that protects it. And fish shakes like 2 or 3 times and then just pops right off. And I'm just like, and it's even sitting there for a second, like it doesn't realize it's off. And then it just goes down. Poof. I'm just like, we got a lot of good footage for you guys. That video
I'm going to be editing those videos tonight and tomorrow. So members, you guys should get early access to that. Everybody else, you guys will see that in a couple days. And then I have a very special video for members only of Jay Fever getting a pretty good sized bass on a shell cracker or swim bait. So it's like the gem of the trip. And I'm going to release a nice, I've got it all on footage. It looks clean. So I'm going to release that, and that's going to be my little treat for you guys. Nobody's ever going to get to see that except for our members. So thank you guys for being members. So we're going to make sure we put that up there. And then we've got 2 giveaways. So I want to make sure I reiterate this before the night's over. Hey, thanks for becoming a member, Mike. So we've got a giveaway on YouTube, Common Sense Fishing here. Look out for the video to drop tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the giveaway for hitting 1,500 subs. And the prize will be something similar to this, like a fishing reel, something like this, or a lure pack. So we're going to make sure we have a cool prize for you guys. That will be coming out tomorrow morning. And then on Bass Fishing Lovers, my Facebook page, that giveaway will be coming out tomorrow morning as well. So we have a milestones of 1,500 subs on YouTube. And then I have a milestone of 3,000 members on my personal private Facebook page that you have to be invited to, or you have to request to join. You can't just join up. So I try to keep it free of any spammers and people trying to hawk BS and T-shirts and stuff like that, so that it's some YouTubers and all fishermen just posting their family pictures of fishing, them fishing. We got tips and tricks. We got a cool community, Bass Fishing Lovers. I'm the admin there, so we don't tolerate any BS, anybody picking on people. There's not a lot of drama. We just remove the bad apples, and so far we haven't actually had to do that to anyone other than spam. When you get people trying to sell knives, trying to sell T-shirts and crap, if they didn't ask permission, if they're not a company I'm aware of, and then boom, pull them off. So come check that out. Facebook, Bass Fishing Lovers, giveaway there. Tomorrow, make sure you have your notifications checked. We're going to be having our giveaway here on Common Sense Fishing. Now remember though, when we have a giveaway, they'll run for a week or two. So they'll start tomorrow. You'll have X amount of time to comment, like, be subscribed, all that good stuff. And then you guys, we have the giveaway. So make sure you guys stay tuned to that. Now we got a new member today, Mike Dozer. Everybody welcome Mike to the club. Thank you very much for supporting and joining, Mike. So just wanted to let you know, part of your I guess benefits of being a member here is you're going to get early access to every video I make. You're going to get live streams for members only, where we'll chat with just you guys, nobody else. Then we're also going to do videos that are just you guys. So some of our special stuff, some of our real wild stuff, you guys will have access to that while other people don't. Now, as the membership grows, there's going to be some delineations that really stand out amongst them. So certain members will get really high-end giveaways, while the more basic ones get the more basic giveaways and stuff like that. So, but as we grow, we're pretty much including everybody and hooking everybody up. You also once a month get a chance to fish with me if you're local. If you're not local, then we send you like a lure pack or something like that. So check that stuff out. Now, back to our topic here. So got to see that Fever hit. So Phoebe's always on a wake bite. Yeah, see, like, I love Phoebes. He's like my buddy. Like, I've known him for like 30 years. And I try to tell him that, in my opinion, okay, see, Kelsey Bass Ranch is a great place. If you can afford it, fish there. If you can get a membership, fish there. If you want to buy a day pass, fish there. I support Kelsey. I support his ranch. Support all that, right? It's just I don't have the money to do it this year. Couldn't redo it. And then my honest opinion is it's a great place to take kids, family,
and a great place to learn new techniques like he's doing. He's smacking all these bass with the shell crackers, with these big swim baits, with wake baits. He's doing stuff we've never done before, and he's getting good at it, right? But he's doing it at a place that's limiting his skill to get bigger fish, in my opinion. Because honestly, in my opinion, I think Kelsey's due to improper like fish management, as far as they're not killing and removing the baby fish, they're not at enough of a rate, and then they're not repopulating with with new genetics to make the genetics better. You know, they're not putting in new Florida strain. You know, they're not stocking it at all like that. They'll stock it with some trout every once in a while, which is great. But I think that place, I honestly think most of the fish over 7 or 8 pounds is dead. I don't think there's a lot of them there. I think there's some, but they're super hard to catch. And I think that that place is a great fishery. But my point is, I tell them, I say, peeps, come with me and let's go fish at the lake with your techniques. And I think you're going to get a big bass. Now, we didn't get the big bass that we were hoping for, right? It's only like, I'm not going to tell you guys the weight, but it's not a monster, but it's a good one. And it destroys his lure. It's a great fight. It's a great net. It looks beautiful, beautiful bass, giant lure that he caught it on. And it's a good sized bass. It's a big one, but it's not like a honker. Like it wasn't what, you know, you wanted a 10-pounder, right? So the thing is that they catch bigger fish though. So throughout the trip, most of the other fish were a lot smaller. Now, what caught the big fish, though, the other ones, was a crankbait, another reactionary lure, right? And it had to be worked a certain way. So I'll tell you guys a little magic about that is that crankbait, I was using it, and I went up and down this rock wall, and I went up at one time, kind of speed cranking, and down this whole entire wall, I got one nip, boom, and it hit me, and I missed it. And I knew it was a fish. I was like, that's a bass. And then the next pass, I medium crank it with like some jerks and pauses. I caught 2 fish. The third pass, I slow crank it, real slow, with some erratic jerks and stuff, right? I caught like 10, 15 fish on that pass. Same spot. And it was all about, and then we went over some different areas, and I caught a few technique that if I was going too fast, I couldn't buy a bite. But that particular spot was stacked for that particular technique. So it was awesome. All right, so we got a new member, Cody Conway. Thanks for joining. Appreciate everybody. So I live in Salinas and I've got a motel for this weekend in Sonora. Should I fish Don Pedro or New Maloney's? You have a bass boat. Fish New Maloney's. New Maloney's has bigger and better quality fish right now. Don Pedro is also a great lake to fish. However, I think if I had to fish the 2 of the lakes, I would fish New Maloney's over Pedro. And New Maloney's, you're going to fish it in the daytime. I think that it's important to, if you know the lake, you know, do what you do. But if you don't know the lake, break it down in a few different ways. So my last trip there, I had a lot of fun fishing the rock wall over by the dam. But once it got too steep, and it was at that steep portion, I stopped getting as many fish. I got a couple nice spotted bass, but not that many. I think we ought to give a big shout out to both our new members, Mike Dozer and Cody Conway. Thanks for being part of the crew. Now, what I would do is I would make sure that I hit that lake in a couple of different spots and ways. So if you've got your maps, use your Navionics and find the islands. So there's a lot of islands right now that are starting to show up. There's quite a few that are still down there that are underneath that have trees. Some don't have as many trees. I'd recommend you find the rock islands that have a few trees, but that are mostly rock. There are some islands that are pure trees. There are some islands that are pure brush. Then there's some that are just pure like dirt and shale with some little rocks or stumps. Those are good too. So the 2 different shorelines I'd be really looking at there are those long, skinny tapering points and stuff, and islands and offshore stuff, or getting right up against the shore and fishing in the boulders and rocks and nice stuff. like for example from Glory Hole, not from the launch and marina side facing upriver, but when you're coming down the hill looking towards Angels Creek to the right, that whole shoreline has just been really good for me. I got a 6-pound spotted bass on a double whopper plopper, and I got a ton of 3 and 4 pound bass. And then on video, if you guys want to check something nuts out on video, okay, one of my earliest bass fishing videos that I released is called Bass Fishing Extravaganza. You guys want a treat? As soon as this live stream's over, do yourself a favor. Go to my channel and hit videos, right? Because you're going to have to scroll through a bunch. It's one of my oldest, or search for it. It's called Bass Fishing Extravaganza. Now check this out. Or if you're on a computer right now, open up another screen and you can watch it while you're watching this. But this thing will blow your mind. At about somewhere between like the 1:44 and like the 2 and something minute mark, somewhere right there, you're going to see me catch a bass on a chatterbait, right? And it'll be like my second or third bass in, or second bass in, something like that. Or it's going to be about, like I said, between 1.5 minutes and 2.5 minutes. Keep a special eye on the corner of that screen. You'll watch me fight about a 2.5 pound bass, and you will see like a 14 to 15 pound monster come up and attempt to almost eat this bass. And at the last minute, right when it gets by me and the trolling motor, it turns and it dives down. It's very hard to see unless you're watching it on a TV or a computer screen. On your cell phone, it's going to be hard to catch. And it's in the bottom right-hand corner. And it's a shadow. And all you're going to see are the big-ass lips. You're going to see these big lips and then the eyeball, right? And then you'll see the shadow of the fish. And this thing is freaking enormous. So I swear to you, you guys want to see the funniest sight ever? New Maloney's has got monster bass. I'm like super excited just talking about it. So we got, like I said, we got a couple new members here. So, and one of them, Mike, he brought up a question about whether he should fish Don Pedro or New Maloney's. Now check it out. I just got a double digit at Don Pedro. I'll tell you where. If you know where Blue Oaks is, as soon as you launch from Blue Oaks, if you make a left around there, that's called Mexican Gulch. And right on the left-hand side, there's a big rocky point, a crevice that comes in. I was crankbaiting that, deep diving at about 20 foot deep. I'd say at about 11 to 1 o'clock in the morning is when I caught her. I don't remember exactly when. I'd have to check it out. So I got a double digit out of Pedro recently, and had a lot of fun there. However, it has been tough. It's been harder to catch good quality fish, and New Maloney's has had better numbers, better size for me on average. And like I said, I had legit on video have something that blows my mind. Like, I know that lake has monsters, and other people have caught monsters there, so it's just like, that lake's awesome. Now, Phoebes, we're talking about Jay Fever, my buddy. He caught a nice one on a wake bait. So having trouble finding a rental boat. So where are we trying to fish again, brother? Because if it's Folsom, like Folsom is pretty low right now, and I think they're talking about like it's going to be hard to. It might be hard finding one. I got a boat, you know, I could bring mine. So, and then by the way, Mike, I was actually born in Salinas, grew up in Monterey, so from the area. Used to live on Helvick Street, right off of Casa Verde and Del Monte. I could throw a rock basically and hit the ocean, so used to love it there. And then I moved. My parents moved me here when I was a kid, so. If you guys get a chance, smash that like button. Thanks for watching, guys and gals. So here's what we did tonight. We talked about power fishing, tips and tricks, how to get big fish, summer fishing, and kind of went over a bunch of stuff like that. And then now what we usually do on this channel here is we have a lot of fun. We talk about a lot of different things sometimes. As you can see, I'm a collector. Toys, I do a toy drive. So every year I take care of kids for Christmas. Last year I took care of over 200 kids. So what I do is I take people on fishing trips. They donate money or toys. And then at the end of the year, I work with the Salvation Army. I work with like a whole bunch of different community organizations and schools. And I've taken care of whole entire classrooms of kids. And so it's just been an awesome experience, because that's little quick story about me is I was broke when I was young. And one of my first memories of Christmas was a one where we were poor. It was very upsetting. I didn't think we were going to get anything. We were just, I don't think I was really that upset. I think it was just more like I was resigned to it. And then we won, like, you know, we were one of so many families that this church and the county of Monterey paid for, because we were low income, weren't doing too good. And we got shopping sprees, and they picked us up in limousines. Or no, they brought us home in limousines. So we got dropped off by our parents, and then we got took to see Santa Claus. And then we got a wallet, like with $100 bill in it, if I remember correctly. And then that was yours. You put it in your pocket, right? And this thank you bag, like it was a bag. And what it was is they'd ask you, like, what's your favorite stuff? Like, what are your dreams? What do you love, right? And I always talk about I was broke, wish I had some money to buy some candy or toys or whatever. I was real, right? And I told them about like my stuff. And I remember, okay, you get a grab bag. They gave me like a wallet with some money. And then I think I had G.I. Joes in it. And it had like stuff in it that I had asked for that was like expensive but small. And then we took to the mall, and we got to do a, what do you call it? One of those shopping sprees. And I'll never forget that. That was just so awesome. So anyways, every year I take care of kids. So if you see in the background, that's why we got all these kids' bikes. We got a big stack of toys here. We got a big stack of toys here. So all year I collect and I stack it up, and then I have another storage area where I buy all kinds of other stuff and I put it over there. So follow the channel if you guys would like. You can subscribe, become members, help out, and that's what we do here. We have a lot of fun. So usually I'm uploading how-to videos, fishing adventures with the friends, having a good time. We even saved a dude on the Delta that wiped out, and you can see that, where we pulled him out of the water. The guy was going like 80 miles an hour, and his boat flipped 3 times and landed on him. And we caught most of it. We didn't catch the crash, but we caught him all messed up in the water, and we drove up and we pulled him into the boat. We got all that on video. We took him to the dock where the paramedics got him. And thank God he's doing good. Awesome guy. He sent me a picture. He's like a world record holder, speedboat driver guy. And he sent me a bunch of lottery tickets. They're lucky. And they're legit. And I won on some of them, but I saved a bunch. And I framed, kept everything all framed. So that's actually pretty cool. We've had a lot of fun on the channel. So we do a lot of cool stuff. So thank you guys for watching, for liking, for subscribing, anything, just for the viewers, for the comments, for the subscribers. You guys are awesome. So, and then also thank you to the new members. So Amador has John boats. Oh, if you want to fish Amador, bro, I'd take my boat for sure. Like, we got my boat too. And if you want to rent a boat, I got a buddy who has a boat who might rent me his boat. So I got a buddy who has a legit bass boat that if I vouch for it, if we make sure that we have a legit captain, or even if I drive his boat, someone drives mine, whatever, and we follow each other, I'll even be willing to take the lead in my boat or whatever. So if we ground out or something, I'll hit first. But I got a buddy who owns a boat. Maybe he'll rent it out or even let us use it. He's a good dude, so you never know. I can ask him. Matter of fact, it's Jay Feber. Jay has a, I don't want to put him under the gun, but he has a bass tracker with like a 90 horsepower motor. It goes like 50 miles an hour or so, just like mine. It's in really good condition, and it works great. Floats, catches fish. So it's, he's got a nice trolling motor, spot lock on it, all that. So my boat, we could take both of them maybe if I don't know. I don't want to speak for him. I'd have to ask. Well, if you got a guy in Sac, it's however, man. And then wherever you want to fish too, let me know. I'm down to changing the location at any time, like of the lake and spot we're gonna fish. For you, those of you who don't know, me and RC Creative have a fishing trip planned down the road here in a few weeks. So gonna have a good time, get out there and hopefully smash them. So I'm gonna record that. We'll go have fun. Sac River, wherever, my dude. I'm super down with it. I've never bass fished the Sac River, I don't think. I think I did as a kid. I did okay in the slough, but I didn't really do good in the river, though. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. What fun, dude. It's going to be a great trip. we got to bring, I'm going to bring all the lures and all the tricks and somebody, make sure we have a group and have a good time. Or see if anybody else wants to show up in their boat. Not necessarily come with us, but like for the day. See, we did a trip at Clear Lake where we had multiple boats and guys come up. It was super cool. We all followed each other. We all had fun. One boat went off and went their way, and then we all went our way. And everybody was catching fish, having a good time. The other boat did a little better than us too, actually. The first day, they whacked them. They got like a total of 12 or 15, while we got like 6 or 7. But we had a 5-pounder. We had big fish for the day. And then the next day we went out, had another 5. We did a little better, but the third day went out for a few hours, got another 5+. So it was a good trip. You're going to bring a few reels and buy cheap rods. Yeah, Walmart has a good spot where you can buy some cheap rods, basically, for sure. Walmart's got like some $40 and $50 bait casting rods that work pretty good for like top water and jigging and like certain stuff that require some stiffness but a little flex. I wouldn't crankbait with them. They have a couple of good cranking rods too. They have some cheap rods that work. That's what I did when I fished Florida. So a little quick story about me is I do heating and air. So I got sent to Florida to do some heating and air training, right? And I'm like, the hell am I going to be in Florida without any fishing gear? And they wouldn't let me take any, you couldn't take a fishing pole on board, right? It's too big. So I was like, all right, well, I should have brought a reel and like a little bag of lures, but I didn't think that advanced. I was like first time flying, scared out my gourd anyways. I was just worried I was going to make it to my destination alive, So as soon as I get there and I'm in Florida with all this water and ponds and lakes around me everywhere, I just flipped out and I had all this freedom because all I had to do is be at these training and seminars at certain times, and I had hell of free hours, right? So I got an Uber, went straight to Walmart, got my fishing license, got all my stuff, right? I straight murdered it for a few days and had so much fun in Florida. I got some pictures, and there's alligators and stuff, and there's a sign that says "Don't feed the alligators." I thought it was hilarious, so I took a picture with it. And I had a good time. But then when I went to leave, right, couldn't take the fishing stuff with me. So I just seen like this black dude fishing on the side of the like canal, or not canal, but the lake. Like, well, no, it wasn't a like canal. What it is a big lake, like a big pond lake. And on the motel, back of the motel, you could just walk out and fish out of the spa and the swimming pool. And then there's this big grassy stretch. Well, there's this canal that runs this way, and then a creek kind of that runs this way, and then it's the big lake, right? Well, there was this dude, he was fishing by the inlet or outlet or whatever. And he was laughing, and we were talking about alligators and all kinds of cool stuff, all the stuff he'd seen. And I just told him, here, you can have my rod and all my gear. And I told him, I was flying home, and I said, well, good luck. He was stoked. He had his own stuff too, but he was like, it was like, one good deed deserves another. I had a great time. The gear didn't cost me maybe about $100 for a decent rod, reel, line, and some lures that I wanted to have all my setup. I had some top water, I had Senkos, and a couple other things. I'm like, that's all I need. I see it was weeds. I was like, I don't need to buy a bunch of fancy schmancy shit. I bought, I think, a couple spinner baits, a couple bags of Senkos and rubbers. I bought some Texas or bullet weights, but then mostly just fished weightless Senkos, and then top water. Like, I bought a couple poppers. I just throw it out and boom! It was super fun in Florida, I tell you what. But it was humid. Yeah, it was a whole nother ballpark being in Florida. It was so crazy. 70-something degrees, feel like 100 here. You're all sweating. Anyways, I hope dude finishes your glide bait before we fly out. Oh, that'd be cool. If not, either way. It'd be fun to have a good time. So, again, for those of you guys don't know, we're going to go fishing. So, and then again, for those of you who are members, thanks to Cody and Mike, our new members there, and to all of our members, and all as well as the subscribers and viewers, say thank you. But members, don't forget, you guys have a special giveaway every month just for you, early videos, and just direct, members only videos, and also members only live streams. So I plan on beefing up the members only stuff a lot more as the channel grows. So those of you who are with us, thank you guys so much. And for the regular subscribers and viewers and everybody too, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate everybody that's here, everybody that hangs out with me, that watches and tunes in, even if it's only for 10, 20 minutes here or there, or whether you make it the whole night. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys and gals. And so with that being said, it's a little bit past 9. We're going to go ahead and take off. Let everybody, say good night. Thank you guys again. Give a couple minutes if you have any last minute questions or anything you guys want to chat about before we roll. But other than that, thanks for watching. And I want to say thank you guys. So smash that like if you get a chance on your way out. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Again, I might be doing another live stream. Not tomorrow, but maybe. But I know I might not make Fridays. So watch out for the giveaway videos tomorrow morning. Thank you guys, everybody. And a good night. You guys have a good one. Guys and gals. Tight lines, by the way. And everybody be safe.